Doesn't really matter what timeline Noodles finds himself in. We will always return to eat rat.
I guess we are wasting away in Margarettaville.
Well, that's harsh. I guess ultimately it is our own damn fault. Nope, not gonna think about that. Sorry, Noodles. You don't get a say in the matter. It doesn't matter what route you pick. I'm gonna think about it. How can I prepare and grill rats without actually touching them? By getting Pepper to touch the rats for me. Yes, brilliant. Feeling clever, I'm able to relax away a good deal of the awful apprehension of what's ahead with cooking the rats. As I light the grill, my mind moves on to trying to understand my feelings for Pepper. Instead, it drifts back to her turning on the oven. Not twisting a dial on the stove and igniting a burner. That's easy. The oven where you have to push buttons in a specific order. Sure, it's weird, but did she really turn it on? I mean, it turned on, but was it more than just accidental? Stop being paranoid. The simple answer is that she was excited, punched a bunch of buttons, and happened to get lucky.
No, I honestly don't think so. I think she actually knows how to use it.
Yeah,
my guy.
I suspect she does, yes. Luck is she coming back. This, my dear, is skill.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, that beneath her veneer of rhyming and being a tomboy, she is actually blindingly smart?
Probably. I get this feeling like it's like how people in certain environments will deliberately dumb themselves down to talk at basically the same level of expectation as everyone around them. And Pepper may very well be of the mind that it would be like uncool to be super duper smart. But in a way, it very neatly mirrors Goro, who is clearly sharper than he lets on and still kind of plays the fool regardless. That's my theory, anyway. Pepper is a neko. A neko that half the time can't remember to close the freaking refrigerator door. Even Claudia, who helps me prepare almost every meal, doesn't mess with the stove or the oven, not even the toaster. Nekos cause fires. Like crossing roads, there are things that a neko's brain just isn't wired for. No different than my brain swimming in fear if I had to hunt rats. I know I'd never be good at it. I'd screw that up no matter how many times I tried it. Speaking of the oven, I guess my plan for the frozen meal with the chickpea curry sauce will wait till tomorrow. Rat tail, rat head, Pepper chopped them, and, Pepper comes out to let me know that she's finished decapitating and detailing the rats. She messed up her rhyme. I shake my head. They're still dead. What? You want to be fed. Their blood is red. Pepper narrows her eyes at me. It takes her a moment to realize I'm finishing her rhyme. Ha! She gives an overly enthusiastic laugh. Her skull's filled with lead. Yeah, I'm giving her way too much credit. She's clever, no doubt, but still just an echo. See, like, you always do this, Noodles. You always have that, but she's just an echo kind of responses to things, and every one of them has one up to you at some point or another. You ever think that maybe you're the dim bulb of the lot here, Noodles?
Turns out that Noodles was the 95 IQ midwit the whole time. He's the one guy in the middle of that bell curve. You know, there's... On one side, there's, Pepper. There's like, I can write my name. On the other side, there's Claudia, who's like, I am a domestic whiz. And then there's Noodles like, I can't, they're just nekos. I can't figure things out.
She took everything she owned in 2 bags.
We need to make that meme. Can that be the thumbnail for this?
I'll see what I can cook up in MS Paint and we'll workshop it. Yeah. She's giving her way too much credit. Clever, no doubt, but still just an echo. Then again, the way she tricked Veronica. Now, chop off all the feet and put those into the incinerator too. Magic word. Plop. Pretty please with sugar on top. Okie dokie, Chief. Pepper gives me a big Sin Kitty style salute and turns away. I watch her lithe toned body head back into the house. My eyes linger too long on her backside, my brain holding on to the image of her tight bottom even after she disappears into the kitchen. Good lord, man!
I think we need a hand check for Noodles.
Yeah, hand check and an ice-cold shower, yeah. Goro
Good
might
lord.
be right. Maybe I do need to get laid. Preferably not by Goro's Neko? I do like her. I can't lie to myself about it. This is not a good situation. I can't believe I'm that guy attracted to my buddy's Neko. Well, my Neko now. Whatever, I'm still that guy. Watch the fire grow in the grill's body, bright orange and yellow, and slowly creeps over the kindling and charcoal until everything is fully engulfed in flame. All done, hard to run, rats no feet, Pepper gonna eat. She got her rhyme back. Pepper's done everything I asked in preparing the rats, but also, did you clean the floor? Competing with the reek from the sink full of headless, tailless, footless rats, the kitchen also has a vague smell of bleach disinfectant. The reason the spot where Shimi dumped the rats has been wiped clean. I think Claudia did it, but I know she's still in the tub with Shimi. Hey! Intensely impatient and eager enough for the both of us, the sass cat hooks a thumb at the sink full of rats. Get 'em! Let's go! Hold your horses, they still need to be dressed. Rats in clothes? Sounds stupid. What? No, not dressed in clothes. Dressed means to cut open the bellies and pull out the not meat parts. Use a knife or the shears. You want to unzip them from neck to nuts, then just pull out the guts. Guts and nuts, on time, good rhyme. Pepper unzip nuts. Don't get any ideas. Unzip nuts, tear out guts, chop up rats, tasty cuts. Pepper is fully enjoying herself, and I haven't had to touch a single one of the nasty little bastards. While Pepper guts the rats, I let us into the candle and pull out ingredients to season and make sauces for the rodents so they don't taste, well, like rodent. What seasonings go best with rat? Curry sauce? Nah, the way I make it isn't good for grilling. I should treat the meat like venison, assuming it's gamey sounds like a safe bet. So I pull out several strong spices that can compete with the pongy meat. Go for savory and sweet, juniper, rosemary, sage, onion, and brown sugar. While mixing the rub and making the butter and horseradish sauce, I probe Pepper's weird behavior. So what made you decide to clean the floor? Pepper clean a spot quicker, you cook them on. Actually, that makes sense. So you can clean.
A thought occurs to me.
What's that?
But I'm going to ask your thoughts first. How
Okay.
would you clean, or how would you, cook rats? Assuming you were forced to.
If I was in this position, I think we talked about this briefly and maybe in Shimi's route, but what I would do is basically, you gotta, like you said, you have to clean and dress them, obviously, but afterwards, I would probably go with a deep fry. So, here's the thing. Rats are disgusting, unclean little monsters. So, you want to make sure that you're disinfecting the meat while you're cooking it. If you're frying them,
Yes.
the oil or whatever you're frying them in, it can be butter, tallow, any number of things, will very comprehensively clean the meat. You can also overpower its gaminess by using certain mixtures in your frying mixture and your batter. You could make them at least a little more palatable and maybe aid in the texture by giving them a bit of a crunchy underbite, a little bit of a kick, a little bit of spice, like a lemon pepper kind of dealie. What about you?
Are you gonna bread them?
You can. I don't.
I mean, honestly, frying sounds good. I feel like I probably would want to do something, and this is going to sound really white trashy of me, kind of do the barbecue rub.
Okay, that makes sense though. I mean, meat is meat, right? So
I'm just imagining my aunt and my uncle, and they're like, yeah, roadkill barbecue.
I mean, mine's not going to be a whole lot better with battered rat on a stick. So I mean, go to the comments.
No.
Let us know. Would you guys prefer rat on a stick, or would you like rat on the barbecue?
No. I don't know if I've said this or not. I have family in the South, and they have done roadkill barbecue before, so That's why I bring that up. I'm like, no, I mean, yeah, if you know, it's a windfall is a windfall.
Waste not, want not.
Yes.
So you can clean. Interesting. No get ideas. To finish up with both the dry rub and the sauce, the pepper finishes cleaning out the inedibles from the rodents. That assumes some of it is edible.
I will also say that, you know, you might not know this, but are you familiar with toxoplasmosis?
Oh, yes, actually. A little bit.
Well, did you know that those parasites come from rats?
Oh, yes, because the cats
the
eat the rats, and then the cats can spread it by, well, a couple different methods, but yeah.
Yes, and so the entire thing is that if you, would fry the meat, it would annihilate those parasites. So
That's true. Okay, next will be skinning them.
sorry,
Rat
sorry.
skinning
Let's continue.
Let's continue cooking rats. This week on In the Kitchen with the Tomo Bros, how to prepare dead rat for your cat girls. Rat skinning already. But no, that's not what I said, and you know it. We have to remove their skin. How? I was hoping you knew. Pepper killer, not cooker. Maybe you can't skin them, but you know who can? You? Shimi, but she's in the tub. So, my dear, I guess it's up to us. Pepper blushes from being called my dear. She moves to punch me with her sticky hand covered in rat juice. Ew, no, don't! She pulls back, but doesn't throw the punch. Something in her expression tells me she'll save that one for later.
This hand of mine is sticky with an awful power. Its loud roar kills me to grasp your face.
Ah, no! I'm gonna catch the fail and the emo and the zoomer lingo. We get all sorts of terrible
Brain
diseases.
rot. Finger.
Oh, God. It's worse than I thought. Not toxoplasmosis, it's iPad baby syndrome. Ugh.
Rule 7 of the cat girl, fight. Anyone who catches the fail loses.
With much trial and error, Pepper and I managed to tear the skin and fur away from the rat meat. I end up having to get my hands dirty and touch the slimy things. Somehow, something I had avoided till now. Ah, gross. I made barf. Too much bitchin' in the kitchen. Handling the rats is revolting. Pepper is like taking no freaking prisoners this route, isn't she? I think Dwayne and Brando used that rhyme in their Final Fantasy rap.
Man, now I'm sad.
Yeah.
I actually really like their stuff, and a lot of their like quote unquote rewrites I think are not nearly as good because they're not nearly as punchy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff got toned down. Even some of the stuff they remixed from their solo careers, like the Castlevania 2 rap, the original is like way better than the rewrite version. So.
Yeah, I mean he removed the chill like vanilla line, which I thought was great because if you know, and if you don't know, you're like, oh, you mean like ice cream? That makes sense. He never actually comes out and mentions vanilla ice.
Yeah. I feel like I'm having like a cross between gripping a giant slug and trying to give the devil a hand job. That's a description,
Ew.
all right. And the smell. I finally get a good look at them. The dull, deep crimson meat is thin and sinewy, dense like thick leather, and not in any way appetizing by human standards. I wash my hands twice and try not to think about what's ahead as Pepper pushes their skins into the incinerator with a spork. That thing is going to run for a week with everything that's going in there. I'm just glad it has a big hopper and can hold it all. With the skins off, I have Pepper give them a good rinse. Then they get a quick soak in some cooking rum. After talking Pepper through seasoning them with the dry rub, I grab a large platter. I guess they're ready, although they really should sit for a while in the spices before we cook them. Can't sit, Pepper cut off butts. I groan dramatically at her bad joke. She smiles proudly, either at making me react or all the work she did on the rats. Possibly both. Actually, Pepper's done more hands-on with the prep work for the meal than I've ever let Claudia do. I know it's only because I'm shirking my work onto her, but it is refreshing to see her so productive. Nice job, Pepper. That was the grossest thing I've ever done with food. Not sure I would have made it through it without your help. Laying the scrawny rats in the grill, they instantly sizzle and pop as the greasy flesh sears into the piping hot metal. The strong spices are not nearly enough to mask the uniquely terrible fragrance of slowly roasting a fusty meat. Burger time will never be the same. Now, come on, you can clean a grill. Don't be a baby.
What are you talking about? You clearly have never played Happy's Humble Burger Barn.
Flipping the rats isn't easy, but I managed to turn each of them. After searing both sides of each rat, I adjust the heat and slather them with the horseradish butter sauce. I just need to make sure they cook well enough to kill any disease and parasites. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cook the crap out of these things. Literally. Then again, as bad as it is to have dead rats on my grill, it's nothing compared to the horror of having live ones invade your house. I find myself having a sudden respect for Goro's parents. How many times did Kit and Pepper bring them rats she caught in their basement? How many times did they have to pay for that service by doing exactly what I'm doing now? Thank God for nekos. Some nekos, awesome neko. Some are, that's true. Do you know any? My tease rewarded the soft punch she owed from earlier, thankfully with clean hands. Ow! Such pain! I over-dramatically react to her love tap and we enjoy the moment as the charcoal on the grill blazes red under the sizzling meat. As the world's worst...
I was just going to say, if you react like that, she's just going to punch you harder and more often.
Yeah.
Just saying.
As the world's worst barbecue gets into full swing, Claudia comes into the backyard, closely followed by Shimi. Both are freshly bathed. Shimi looks ready for a long nap, with the wilds washed off of her, and it's amazing how almost domesticated Shimi appears. Claudia makes a beeline for me at the grill, her expression less happy than I expected it to be. What's wrong? Shimi, serious. Yeah, of course, I'll take a look. Pepper, you're on grill duty. Just let me know if any black smoke or fire comes out the top. Yep. The meat is so greasy, a flame-up is the only thing I'm really worried about. Well, that and the fact that it's rat meat. After adjusting the grill's vent, I follow Claudia and Shimi inside. Claudia points to Shimi's stub of a tail. At Claudia's prompting, Shimi twists her body so that her backside is facing me. I'm so unprepared to how ready Shimi is to allow me to examine her that it takes me a moment to do it. Reaching down, I carefully take the short remainder of her tail into my hands. At the very tip is a bit of fresh blood seeping from the stitches. The seam of the wound is still closed, so that's good. Doesn't look infected. I think she just pulled out a stitch. Nothing serious. Shimi doesn't react to my words, just Claudia, greatly relieved my proclamation of just a pulled stitch, smiles and rushes to get Goro's medical bag before I even ask. I blot away the tiny bit of blood and put a little cream on the spot while Claudia keeps the ferals focused. Our Wildcat's back, eh, Claudia? Not Wildcat. Not now. We finished the job with a butterfly bandage. Well, that should do it. Watch it and let me know if it bleeds again. You can put this cream on at bedtime and again in the morning. Claudia gives me a very grateful hug. Then, in the strangest moment of the day, which is saying a lot, seeing as how I've had an erotic encounter with Pepper and there are currently 4 rats cooking on the grill, Shimi parrots Claudia and puts her arms around both of us. It's awkward, but it is a hug.
I think this is what we talked about earlier with the entire, you have to get the route that scores all the maidens.
Harem of Neko's route. That'd be a thing. You're welcome, Shimi.
We are going to get so many smooches.
All of the smooches. She watches my mouth as I speak, and then, Shimi. Aw. Rats ready. No, they aren't. Not yet. My retort's an automatic reaction. I haven't even checked them yet. I flip the rats. It's a clumsy affair due to their size and how, even scrawny, they're surprisingly heavy. Now that they're starting to really cook, I have to use all my skills to keep them from burning to a crisp, as tempting as that is. I need a salt grinder and the pepper mill. We need more pepper. Pepper. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Who's Roger?
He's talking to me. And the salt. Grinning, she returns a moment later with the salt and pepper. Pepper's pepper, she announces, very pleased with the wordplay. She hands me both mills and demands. Peppers, peppers, peppers. You got it. Peppering, peppers, peppery, peppers, pepper. Ha! Peppering, peppers, peppery, peppers. We both laugh. Good, now say that 3 times fast. Accepting my challenge, takes a deep breath and... Pepper, 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 pepper. She laughs as she stumbles over the tongue twister. It is totally unfair, as if I could say anything in neko, let alone a tongue twister. With a dirty look, Pepper tosses the challenge back at me. Okay, smarty rhymes, you say fast 3 times. Fast 3 times. My smug grin and the silence that follows makes Pepper stare at me blankly. Slowly she realizes that I just won her game. Not by flawlessly saying the tongue twister, but by tricking her. Wide-eyed, she raises her hand and points at me. Cheater! I didn't cheat. You told me to say fast 3 times, and I said fast 3 times. Also, I'm pretty sure you flinched. Pepper is aghast, insulted. She wrestles with rage at losing in such a cheap way. I seize this rare win against her and twist the knife. Skill, my dear, skill. Strangely, her sour expression and clenched teeth is all the way to something softer. I'd think it was admiration for my cleverness if I was being generous to myself.
You know, that's the thing. If you actually encounter someone who can beat you in ways like that, honestly, I'm like, you know, I should be mad, but I'm like, that's actually really clever. And
like...
Clockwork has gotten me a few times like that, and I'm like, well played.
Excellently played, good sir.
Yes. So.
Regardless, the way she's looking at me causes me to blush a bit. I think I just got her panties in a twist again.
There he goes again, talking about Pepper's undies.
Although I hate to admit the rats are done. They cooked long enough to kill any nasties living in the meat. I hope. The time has come. We'll eat them out here. Pepper, grab plates, forks, and knives. Yeah, let's go! Claudia, can you grab a blanket? Picnic! Shimi. Shimi stares at me. Yeah, keep doing that, I guess. Pepper immediately bites into the rat like she was eating a large piece of very chewy fried chicken. Shimi also begins to bite off and work chunks of the chewy meat. Not enthusiastically like Pepper, but still appearing very pleased with her meal. Claudia, watching Shimi, begins to nibble. That just leaves me. Moment of truth. Think of it like a rite of passage. I'm the guy with 3 nekos in his house. What's a little rat meat? Could use some of that rum right about now. Take a very small bite. The rat meat is unpleasant. It's like chewing a thin piece of old beef jerky that was sandwiched between 2 tires for a week. I put enough sauce on it that I think it technically qualifies as soup, and still it tastes like the rats are having their revenge on me. Bah! Pepper, pointing at me, bursts into laughter. Shimi displays no opinion as she eats. Only Claudia seems to show any empathy. Like me, she looks like she's eating it to be polite. It's so chewy. Even if my mouth wanted to swallow, my stomach is having none of it. I chew until my jaw gets tired, which doesn't take very long. I end up covertly spitting out the piece. Sorry, Shimi. It's too gross. Watching Pepper eat, she appears to be happily chowing down on Shimi's victim. Yet, her big grin seems thin. I'm not sure how I can tell, but all the excitement that she had about eating rats, the first chance she's had since she was a kitten, seems to have evaporated the moment she bit into it.
It's not nearly as good as I remember.
Nostalgia is a cancer of the soul, Pepper. Don't let it guide you. Now that I'm paying attention to it, only Short-Tail Shimi, the not domestic but no longer feral neko, is the only one really working her way through the meal. The rest of us look like we'd be happier with Noodles.
You know what it is?
She's grown up and become a domestic. She's not just a rat hunter anymore.
Well, that, and also I can only imagine that, back in the day they used beef tallow, and now he's, you think Noodles has beef tallow?
No, he probably gets the seed oils.
Yes.
He gets the
That's it,
seed
I'm just
oils,
saying.
just like RFK Jr., ghost of food safety, past and future, warned him about.
I told you, bro. I warned you, dog, all those years ago. Which is to say, earlier this year.
When we did kiosk. Yes.
Yeah.
Pepper soldiers through about a third of her rat with a grin. It just feels like an act. There's something far away in her expression, just under the greasy smile. Maybe now she's just as spoiled as Claudia and I are, too spoiled on human food to appreciate the rewards of the hunt. There's something about her expression that feels off. You can't go home again feeling. Pepper mumbles something I can't make out about the rat. Maybe she doesn't like how I cook them. With dinner over, everyone helps clean up. All the scraps and leftovers go right into the incinerator. Thank you, Mom, for spending extra for a good one. The gross canvas sack Shimi used to bring us the rats goes into the grill and be consumed by the still burning coals. With the incinerator and grill at full capacity, turning the offal to ash, my sweatpants gain a reprieve. Maybe I'll save them. They're good to wear when you're sick. Shimi, exhausted from her hunt, relaxed from her bath and her belly full of rodent, heads into the sunroom. She's done for the day and ready for a well-earned sleep. Claudia smiles at me. Yeah, I'm happy she's back too. She heads off to join Shimi. All in all, this has been a good day. Very bizarre, but good regardless. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Thank you, Fortune Cookie. An eventless night and a hearty breakfast foretell the coming of a good day. As a chores reward, I offer to let Pepper go through my old comics to see if there's anything she might like. At first glance, nothing seems to pique her interest. I guess I don't have anything in there to rival Sin Kitty All a Game. I leave the box next to the desk in her room. If she gets bored, she can go through it without me hovering over her. A couple of times I catch her looking at me with the...
So what he has is he has 90s comics. He has, 1987, DuckTales. Or, the 1987 TMNT/DuckTales. Then it looks like he has a shoujo manga.
Yeah, that appears to be the long and short of it.
No.
A couple of times I catch her looking at me with a strange expression. I also catch her practicing the peppering peppery peppers tongue twister. Claudia does her chores. While still keeping an eye on Claudia, Shimi suns herself in the daylight streaming through the windows. It's late afternoon, and Pepper insists we play bounce. Your timing's not good, Pepper. I have to make dinner. Bounce and pounce, Pepper announce. I don't know what that means. Chores reward, then smorgasbord. Fine. Geez, you're a pest. Not a pest. Took a test. Big slugfest. Results suggest Pepper best. We bounce and race around, getting sweaty in the late afternoon sun.
Oh my.
All right, you get into the shower while I figure out what I'm going to make for dinner. Yep. I turn on the shower Pepper and... From somewhere down the hall, my phone indicates I have a message. Goro. I act like I didn't hear it, but Pepper clearly did. While Pepper showers, Shimi naps in the sunroom. I tell Claudia to go with Shimi. Instead of spending an hour cooking,
man. I think this is when things are gonna get bad.
Well, we shall see. Instead of spending an hour cooking, I'm just gonna heat up that frozen chicken I made a while back and serve it with our hummus, so I don't need any help. I'll come get you when it's ready. I made a big lunch and we ate it later than usual. Is that...
Man, I just don't like hummus. I'm sorry. I know that, there's a lot of people that like it. I don't like it.
It doesn't do anything for me either, I'll be honest. Like, it's fine. I would eat it instead of starving, but, I'm not in a big hurry to rush out and get some hummus like I'm strong sad or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it seems like just like a spread for crackers. And it's like, if I'm going to do, have crackers as a meal, I'm going to want a charcuterie.
Yeah.
At which point, here's the thing, this is going to shock you, I'm sure. The young lad, our Doodle, he loves that sort of stuff.
Oh, of course. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, so, as soon as we do anything like that, he shows up because, you have things that I like.
Yeah,
So,
they always know somehow. I made a big lunch and made it later than usual, so it's not like any of us were starving. Dinner will be easy peasy. Weirdly, Pepper finishes quickly. I get to take my shower after an oddly short wait. I also take a very short shower. Strangely quiet, stepping out of the shower and getting dressed. Although the unusual silence of the house immediately worries me, I also see it as an opportunity. I need to pull out and cook that frozen dinner. If Pepper isn't around, I'll finally get to catch up on all the messages that Goro sent me while dinner heats up. Damn it! Where's my phone? Once again, my phone has run off somewhere, without the courtesy of letting me know when it would be back. My humorless joke causes my face to contort. Nothing about this is funny. The immediate suspect is Shimi. Check behind the curtains. Nope, no phone there. What the hell? Tossing the sofa cushions and finding nothing besides a few coins.
It's not going to be Shimi, dude.
Yeah,
it's like painfully obvious who it is.
It's like, I don't know if you're in denial or if you just haven't come to terms with it, but one of your nekos can read. And it doesn't sound like you secure your phone, and if you do, you don't do it in a very good way. Spoiler alert, 1234 is not a good PIN number.
Silly Snek. Don't you know my password is 12345? They'll never see it coming.
That'll throw them off. Tossing sofa
cushions. The funny thing is, though, if you recall, actually, this may be the fact that my family has been watching a whole lot of whodunits. If you recall when the first time that this happened to us, Shimi wasn't around. She had left already.
That's true.
So it's the two, because it's not us, clearly. And so there's two other culprits. So unless Mia is hiding in the floorboards, which I don't think she is, then,
she better not be.
It's either Claudia, who can't read, or Pepper, who can read and has very, very little problem with, infringing on personal boundaries.
Yeah, this really is a cut and dry case. Noodles is just thick as a brick.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is, Detective Columbo wouldn't even go to the first, commercial break for this one.
Yeah, seriously. Tossing sofa cushions and finding nothing besides a few coins causes my frustration to peak. I do not want to hunt for it, but for the sake of my mental health, I have to find it. I grab Veronica's house keys off of the counter. At least I'll finally get to return them. You still have her keys? That was days ago! What?
No. You see, this is perfect, Professor. You see, this is perfect. Oh, darn. I still have your keys. Rat. I would forget my own head if it wasn't, attached. So...
What you doing?
You want to go out?
Approaching Veronica's
Just
back.
saying.
After that entire
interesting choice of words.
It's like after that exchange, that the way he describes it is suddenly so much more unfortunate.
Yes, please.
Approaching Veronica's back door, I can see her in the dining room. She's rearranging her paintings and moving around her art projects and talking to herself. Veronica seems to be having a really in-depth conversation with herself about something as she moves her things around. Although it feels uncomfortably voyeuristic, watching her talk to herself is oddly comforting. But I'm not the only one who does that. Still chatting.
No, you're not.
No, there's a lot.
No, I can attest. You're not, because I do it too.
Yeah. Still chatting, she picks up the easel and painting in front of where I patched the hole in the wall. Maybe now would be a good time to tell her about the hole and the work I did to fix it. Oh no. Probably able to knock and let her know she has an audience. Veronica abruptly stops and tracks and looks around. Catching sight of me at the window is so unexpected for her that she inadvertently leaps backwards in surprise. I watch helplessly as the leg of the easel she's holding punches into the wall, in the exact spot I made the repair. God hates me. Blue. Veronica puts down the easel and opens the door. I'm instantly apologetic. I'm so sorry, Veronica. I didn't mean to startle you. Veronica's attention is split between me and the damaged wall. She doesn't seem to be able to multitask both things at the same time. Oh, hi. You didn't... Were you looking... Wait, I mean... Veronica trips over her words as her attention seems to go everywhere at once. My attention remains on the wall. All that work, all the drama, stress, and anxiety I went through getting it fixed, and she just put the leg of an easel through that exact spot. Let me pay for the repair because... What? No, don't be silly. Veronica interrupts me as her attention regains focus. I'll fix that tomorrow. Really, that's nothing, like 5-minute job. She smiles confidently in a manner that I find completely disarming. I nearly pulled my hair out repairing that hole. Veronica talks about fixing it with this if it'll take the same amount of effort as ordering a pizza. Patching and painting walls is what she does, and she's so self-assured that even though I'm ready to confess everything that happened with the wall, I don't. Seeing her so poised, so trusting of her own talents and abilities, makes me smile too. This is a side of Veronica I'd like to see more often. I guess the wall will stay as my and Pepper's secret. Veronica's nervousness suddenly returns, overwhelming her. She blinks rapidly and asks, Why? Oh, wait. She leads me outside and closes the door. Hi. Right, why am I here? Duh. I need a favor. I keep losing my phone. I can't find it anywhere. It's like I'm going crazy. Veronica's eyes get big. She smiles. Looks a bit strange. Sorry to bother you with this, but could you call it for the next few minutes? That way I can follow the ringing and find it. Her smile seems plastic, really painted on and absent of any real emotion. It's completely different than when she talked about patching the wall. Sure, oh, wow. She swallows hard, nervously pulling out her phone. Without even waiting for me to return home, she finds my number in the contacts and its dial. Thanks, Veronica. Fragan turned to head back home. From Veronica's other pocket, my phone rings. Like a neko caught in a car's headlights, Veronica stares at me. And like that same neko, I stare back. Her phone in her hand. My phone in her pocket. Something important in my head breaks. It's as if all the tiny fasteners that hold my brain together suddenly vanished, causing my mind to collapse into a runny custard, a formless porridge that holds neither shape nor the sense of things around me. I try in vain to spork out a coherent thought from the watery hummus that was once my brain. Veronica? Oh. Veronica talks, but keeps her voice quiet. I find myself also speaking in a near whisper. Is that my... Yeah? You have it? Why do you... You left it here. No, No, you didn't. It's just... Oh. Veronica reaches into her pocket. Reluctantly, she holds out my phone. I take it like she just pulled one of my kidneys out of her pocket and handed it to me. Veronica has my phone? Sinkhole. Cavernous gap in the middle of my thought process. A black hole where every possible explanation, any meaningful connection to how my phone ended up in Veronica's pocket, simply falls in, disappearing into a void. My body feels like it's falling in too. I'm dumbstruck. I'm now the center of that black hole. Everything around me crushes in, pressing tightly. The fragments of logic that struggle to explain what led to this are spaghettified, torn up, and swirled into the chaos inside my pudding head. If I was ever truly going crazy, this is the moment. Veronica looks like she's ready to cry. Well, what do you know? My phone actually grew legs, walked itself over here, and jumped right into Veronica's pocket. None of this makes sense. There is no way that timid Veronica was sneaking into my house and taking my phone. I managed to force my mouth to work. Still speaking in hushed tones, she finally offers an explanation, which only sucks me deeper down a rabbit hole. Goro. Goro gave you my phone? What? No! She wanted to know because, you didn't... She. And then she was like, please, and I felt I owed her because, the rat. Suddenly, it all makes sense. The rat. Pepper. Veronica, slow down. Start at the beginning. Like sharing a conspiracy or a secret that needs to be kept from the surrounding night, Veronica quietly rambles, explaining the whole story. Pepper has been sneaking over here with my phone, and Veronica has been reading Goro's messages to her, because I wasn't. Because Veronica is kind and felt she owed Pepper for making sure her house was rat-free, Pepper was able to get Veronica to please read and to keep secret. When Veronica finally finishes, the hush causes both of us to fidget. I'm so sorry. No, I don't think you need to be. I'm actually relieved to know that I'm not crazy. I really thought I was losing my mind. This sure doesn't feel like sanity. Veronica doesn't look convinced that I'm not mad at her. I elaborate. Pepper has this ability to get people to do things. I find myself re-examining the day Pepper made a huge mess here, hunting that imaginary rat, and then Veronica came home, how easily Pepper tricked her, and got me to agree to a special reward. It's funny you say that. What do you mean? Veronica's timidness vanishes. She quietly but excitedly shares her thoughts. She wanted me to read you the message Goro sent you, but it felt like she already knew what they said, you know? Like she had already read over them, and she came over because she just, wanted someone to talk about it with. As I consider Veronica's statement, she asks a question that I'm unprepared for. Who is the waitress? The what? Her? Just some... What? Wait, why? Is it the flirty girl from the restaurant near where Lind works? Yeah? Pepper asked me if I knew her, then asked if I thought you liked her. I think she's jealous. Pepper's jealous of a waitress? Well, like I said, it felt like, she already knew what Goro had written, and she has just been, coming here to find out what I knew. You're saying that Pepper pretended to want to know what Goro wrote as a guise, so she can grill you for information on me, if I'm dating the waitress. She didn't use the word date. She asked if you two ever kissed. Oh god, I hope Pepper didn't tell Veronica about our kiss. Not just about the waitress. She asked about Mia, if I thought you two might ever get back together. She doesn't like Mia. Well, neither does anyone else here, Veronica, let me tell you. That doesn't surprise me. When I hang out at Goro's, Pepper would always be right there, somewhere nearby. But the few times Mia came with me, Pepper stayed in a different room. She asked, if you and I ever, kissed, too. Sorry, the game devs told us that, you are too good for us, so that can never happen, sadly. This conversation with Veronica sparked serious suspicions about Pepper, the cat that always seems to be a step ahead of me. Looking back, since she first got here, she always seemed to know how to press my buttons and get what she wanted. Plus, she reads and writes. She remembered and found the tools, not something I could do without notes. The whole thing with the books. Sin Kitty, sure, but her other books, it never made sense. Turning on the stove. Now I'm the one who needs someone to talk things over with. It's a bad idea, but I decided to give voice to this crazy hunch. Veronica, this is going to sound insane, but I think that my spoiled and bratty Neko may be much smarter than she lets on. Oh my god, he finally put it together! I think Pepper acts dumb so she can manipulate people. Hearing the words come out of my mouth, I immediately wish I hadn't said them. I'm also talking too fast, and my low volume makes me feel unhinged. I really sound like a nut. I have to be overthinking this. The whole thing sounds insane. Pepper isn't some hidden genius pretending to be simple. She's just a Neko. But Claudia is just a Neko, and she can act. She pretended that she was less worried about Shimi than she really was. But that goes beyond that. I'm suggesting that Pepper practices a level of deception that is well above what any Neko and most people could be capable of. Oddly, Veronica seems to take the idea in stride. I don't think that's impossible. Looking back on our talks, I can see it. But why would she, do it? That's the question. Why would Pepper do it? What would she get out of constantly playing mind games with humans? For fun? Part of some Peppery master plan? Pepper's obnoxious, demanding, and self-absorbed. She's also very much a Neko. Nekos don't have master plans. Unless that's what she wants you to think. The feelings of conspiracy and paranoia merge, and once again, Pepper has me second-guessing myself. I think she, has a crush on you. The waitress? No, silly. Veronica smiles kindly. Pepper. I blink several times. The stigma surrounding humans and Neko squeezes my throat like a pair of hands. Pepper's a Neko. She's still a girl. Veronica says this far too matter-of-factly. If it's true, was the kiss more than just a kiss for Pepper? Did she pretend that it was simply curiosity for her, to get me to kiss her because she actually, likes me? Again, I flounder, overloaded with all this new information, stuck on the possibility that the same Neko that can't operate the shower is also the world's greatest manipulator, hustling humans for some diabolical Neko-flavored scheme. My pudding of a mind tries to sort it all into something manageable, but just can't. Also, I should tell you, Pepper's here, inside. Really? She saw you coming before I did, and she hid. Ah, of course. Pepper would have already returned my phone otherwise. The hushed voices by the fence make a lot more sense now. I run my hands through my hair, partly to make sure that none of my brains have leaked out of my head after feeling like they've been put through a blender. Like, what are you gonna do? That is another really good question. Do me a favor, don't tell Pepper that I know about the phone or her visits. Veronica warily regards me. Just tell her that I came by to return your key, and I talked about not being able to find my phone. So I hand Veronica her house key. She looks relieved that I'm not asking her to tell a total lie, but still looks concerned. Her expression seems to be asking, are you sure you know what you're doing? Oh, can I borrow your phone? Veronica heads back inside. She really is a sweet girl. Maybe she's not as simple-minded as I thought. Why would you think that? Veronica is definitely a woman of hidden depths, Noodles. You really should respect her a whole lot more. There seems to be a lot of that going around. Claudia and Shimi are fast asleep. I turn off all the lights except the one in my bedroom. Standing in the dark hallway, waiting to spring a trap, the feeling is not unlike waiting for a storm to hit. My mind nervously works through what is going to happen a very short time from now. I have a plan. Correction. I have half of a plan, and that's being optimistic. I'm no Goro when it comes to stuff like this. Besides, everything Veronica and I just talked about has filled up my head, leaving no room to formulate a full plan. I'm still reeling from it all. The short walk back home was like roller skating on the top of a speeding bus. My head swims, juggling all these thoughts. Pepper is complicated. As I do really feel that she's been putting on an act. As ridiculous as that sounds, deep down, I think I've known for a while. I just naturally keep dismissing it as being impossible. Just a neko, so it's absurd, right? And that's the crux of it. Is she immeasurably brilliant, or is she just really clever? The idea that Pepper could actually be presenting a thin veneer to the world beneath which is another Pepper. Completely different Pepper. An immeasurably gifted and manipulative Pepper. It's beyond the realm of rational thought, and at the same time, weirdly tantalizing. I place both hands on the wall to support myself. On the razor's edge of sanity, my mind wrestles, debating both sides of the argument and punching holes in every conclusion. I'm losing it. There are 100 more reasonable explanations than Pepper being some kind of a savant with an agenda. But all the things I've experienced with Pepper keep me from being able to write it off as just a clever cat. It's more than that. She likes to ride in cars, unsedated, something absolutely unheard of for a neko. Everything is a serious game to Pepper. In retrospect, every action she makes feels like a tactical move. She sets you up so that every choice you make furthers her agenda. What the hell is a neko's agenda? Several slow, deep breaths get me thinking coherently. Okay, let me try this from another angle. Assuming for a moment that I'm not insane, and accepting the ridiculous notion that Pepper is putting on a show to trick humans, how is it that I'm able to see this about her, yet Goro never did? I know he didn't, because if he knew, Goro would have said something. There would have been an elaborate prank with a grand finale that revealed that Pepper is smart beyond her species. So if Goro, a puppet master who twists everyone to his will, had no idea that Pepper was playing her own much more devious mind games with everyone, how did I figure it out? My mind settles for a moment. Quiet. A heavy sigh escapes. The tension in my shoulders starts to melt away. Maybe she wants to get caught. What if Pepper's been testing me this whole time, giving me hints to see if I could figure out her game as part of the bigger scheme? Levels and levels of games upon games fill my brain. I want to rage against the little voice, make it shut up so I can go back to the simple ignorance believing with certainty that Pepper is just a bratty neko. Clever, but nothing more. Kinda wish I was crazy. It'd be so much easier at this point because the reality is too bizarre. I haven't been misplacing my phone. Pepper's been taking it. Not taking it to mess with me, but as a means to get her way. A clear method to her madness. Befriending Veronica, getting her to read Goro's messages that Pepper already read, all to pry her for information. I can't even imagine all the things Pepper's done and gotten away with around here that I'm not even aware of. As crazy as it sounds, it does make sense that Pepper has figured out the game of humans. We're creatures of habit, predictable. To Pepper, it's just another game. And like all the games she plays, she's mastered it. She beat me in Star Checkers the very first time playing it, countering my moves while covertly setting up her pieces to knock me out early. I want to be outraged at her. I should be insulted, offended. So why am I smiling? Goro's played a lot of tricks on me, but this may be his greatest trick ever. He has no idea he's even played it because he's clueless too. All this time, Pepper's been watching him, learning from him, and he didn't even know he was teaching her. If it's true, which I can't help but feel that it is, it's brilliant. I can feel the big dumb grin plastered across my face. There's laughter, and it's coming from me. It's not the jarring titter of a madman this time, but happy, joyful laughter. It feels good. I haven't laughed like this in a long time. Damn it, Goro. Your cat with gratitude, big-brained you, me, and everyone else. Get him, Pepper. I laugh again. If she was here right now, I'm sure I'd give her a big high five. Calming down, there's still the big question. Why? The back door quietly opens. I leap into the kitchen and turn on the light. Pepper acts completely relaxed, as if her sneaking in from being outside in the dark was a perfectly natural occurrence and not suspicious at all. My mind turns back to my half-baked plan. Okay, we get a prompt. Alright, we can beat Pepper at her own game, or we can play along with Pepper's game. I'm of a mind that we need to beat Pepper at her own game. I think we need to up the ante on this. Still with us? Alright, Ditaku seems to have exploded. So I will make the judgment call. Game on! Anxiety surges inside me. I let it. It will help me scrutinize every move she makes. Oh, hey, Pepper. You're outside? She must have my phone on her, right? Probably tucked in her waistband. Her game right now is to get rid of it. Put it somewhere, so later when I come across it, I'll just be happy that I found it. Yep. In a friendly dismissal, she opens the cabinet. She's looking for a snack? Is this a distraction? If Pepper is a brilliant actress, like I suspect, I can't play her game. I'll just lose. I need to twist it so I can catch her in the act. No, to beat her at her game, I need to play my own game. It's not going to be easy. She's a master at her craft, and I'm, well, not. She's going to try and leave the kitchen, or distract me so she can sleight of hand the phone off of herself. If she can, she wins. That's her game right now. Pepper disinterestedly gazes into the cabinet. I have a feeling she's acting like she's not watching me watch her. I smile like a goofball playing the part expected. Soon she'll do something that will mildly annoy me. Claudia and Shimi are asleep, so it's just the two of us for dinner. Still watching her through the corner of my eye, I open the freezer and pull out the chicken and vegetables meal that I made and froze a while back. Here. She's unprepared to have the icy dish pressed at her, but still grabs at it with both hands. She's going to complain or ask for noodles. I get a little too excited and begin to spring my trap earlier than I intend. Oh, you know I keep misplacing my phone. I've been such a moron about it lately. Still smiling like a goofball, I pull Veronica's phone out of my back pocket. I went next door and borrowed Veronica's phone. That way I can call my phone and we'll hear it ring. Smart, right? Acting very pleased with myself, I wiggle my finger over the phone. Almost, but not dialing. Not yet. I ramble through my idiot smile, talking about anything while not hiding that I'm watching her. Veronica's pretty cool. A little weird, but who isn't? Ever so slightly, Pepper's expression tightens. It's very subtle, something most people would never notice. Likely the only reason I see it is because I'm looking for it. I'm suddenly grateful for all those years of Goro shenanigans. Right now, it's the ace up my sleeve. No idea why Veronica keeps going back to her dopey boyfriend. Ha! Lose phone flake, maybe a magic phone fairy take. Pepper interrupts my chatter to tease me, then steps over by the sink to put the dish down. This will free up her hands and force me to reposition. It's a good thing her back is to me, as I have immediately flooded with anxiety. I'll have to cross the kitchen to get the dish, unblocking her exit into the foyer or down the hallway. Wait, I say too fast. Not sure why, but at this moment, the oven feels like an ally in this game. I set the timer, open the oven door, and step into position to block her way out of the kitchen. Put it in here. Pepper didn't expect this, but again, instantly adjusts. Acting bored and slightly annoyed, she changes direction and meets me at the oven. Arrogant as always, Pepper places the frozen dish into the oven and closes the door. Crap, I didn't even turn the oven on, and now I'm too far away to do it. The tilt of Pepper's head is so subtle that I'm surprised I even notice it. Clearly she senses it's odd that only the timer is on, but she doesn't react to it. She must still believe she's solidly in control. She got the dumb human to stop dialing after all. I open the fridge, finding a reason for me to be in the spot that blocks the easy exit. Pepper wants shower time. She demands, saying it loud. I'm instantly concerned the noise might wake Claudia and Shimi, which was her intent. I can't fall for it. I suppress natural urge to tell her to speak quieter or go run the shower to get her away from the pair sleeping in the next room. I can't get sucked into playing her game. Totally, it's a great idea. I think we both need shower times. After. You and I need to finish what we started, right? Ignoring the fact that we both already took showers, my reply leaves her verbally flat-footed and momentarily stymied. But this is Pepper. She positions both hands on her hips. I think she's getting ready to dump the phone at the very next opportunity, or trying to turn it off. Watching like a hawk, I blindly reach into the fridge. My fingers end up in the sticky chickpea topping. Yeah, I forgot that Claudia and I made something to go at dinner. The mention of dinner makes Pepper curiously regard the cold oven again, with its timer futilely counting down, its temperature still set to off. I can see the wheels in her head spinning. I know she's about to do something I'll be forced to react to. Catch! Yeah! Her hands come up to reflexively take the hummus from me, but instead of putting it in her hands, I bring the bowl up underneath them. Her hands end up right in the gluey paste. She reacts, yanking her now topping-covered hands away and sending gloops of oily mashed chickpeas everywhere. Chunks land on both of us, glop onto the floor, slap against and stick to cabinets. It takes all my willpower not to freak out from the mess we just made. I place the bowl into her sticky hands. Now it's impossible for her to get rid of the phone. Yeah, it has a little more olive oil than it should. Clearly frustrated and unable to decipher my odd behavior, Pepper locks her narrow gaze on me. Oopsie poopsie. Seizing control of...
Professor.
What's that?
No, just, curious. I've heard things that say that, olive oil is not good for you. So I'm curious to think what you think.
If it's actually olive oil, then yeah, it's fine. But most olive oil you find on the shelves is deliberately diluted. Real olive oil is mafia controlled, so very little of it's actually available on the open market at grocery stores and the like. So, yeah, I hate to burst some people's bubbles on that, but it's not actually olive oil. And there's a lot of people paying a lot of money to advertise it as olive oil, but it's not. Real olive oil from, like, Italy costs way more than the olive oil you see in a grocery store line.
Yeah.
Seizing control of my game, Pepper pulls a move that I never would have expected. She simply falls over. Bowl of hummus clatters across the room and out the back door, sending more of the sticky paste everywhere on its way.
Oh, yes, the MC, she has learned much from you. Noodles.
Oops! It's a perfect move. The noise and mess should cause alarm and draw my attention to try and save the food. The second my eyes leave her, she'll ditch the phone. Sliding it into the sunroom or under the fridge won't be a big victory, but as long as it's not in her possession, she wins. Ignoring everything else, I step to the mush now covering the floor. My eyes never leave her. Oh, Pepper. Stopping where she's lying, I gently lift her to her feet. Up you go, Miss Neko. I smile at Pepper as I run my fingers along her sticky hands, gently spreading the sauce on her arm. Pepper gapes at me in stunned amazement. Everything I've done is insane. None of it's logical reaction to her setups. My touch on her skin has her totally off-balanced. I get a little lost in it, too. I could kiss her right now. I'm sure she would welcome a kiss, but we'd both lose the game. I'll get you a towel.
Oh, that reminds me, Professor, speaking of losing the game.
What's that?
I lost the game yesterday.
Oof.
I hate to say.
Yeah,
All right.
It happens, though.
Yeah. Baby Poogum, she loves Wham. And so she started doing, just Wham Christmas music. And I'm like, no. Oh. And it's one of those, slow-mo. You see it coming. You can't pause it. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to stop inevitability at times like that. It's a trolley problem, but
Yeah.
there's no actual lever to pull. You're just stuck on the track, and, well, you just accept what's coming.
Well, guess I'll listen and lose, Ditaku said, shrugging, as he falls over and listens to one of the most overrated Christmas songs in the universe.
Barely even a Christmas song. They literally just mention it offhandedly.
You know, the funny thing is that it is about as Christmassy as Stop the Cavalry, which isn't even a Christmas song. It's literally an anti-war song written during, I want to say, like, right when Ronald Reagan took office.
Right.
And it's about, Cold War, nuclear panic because, hey, man, the Iran was just taken over. Our old pal Jimmy, not our Jimmy, but Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
Was doing such a great job at being president that and so there was apparently a lot of fear, and this song was speaking to that. Except that he mentions that he wishes he was home at Christmas, and then there's some bells, and just because of that, people, mistake this anti-war song for being a Christmas song. It's actually pretty good. You should totally listen to it when you get a chance.
No, I shall.
So, but yeah, no,
But
I agree.
But I don't get her a towel. I wipe my hands on my shirt and pull out Veronica's phone for the final time. I think this is what we call, like the alpha Chad flex. I don't pretend to dial. I wave it at her. My grin gets bigger.
It's just the Virgin MC walking away like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore what she says. Alpha to Chad Noodles. I don't get her a towel.
I don't get her a towel after all. Pepper's mouth drops. She looks as if her eyes might pop out of her head. Slowly, she gets it. I've been playing a game on her. She even knows the name of my game. Gotcha. It wasn't a very clever game, but it didn't have to be. I won, and she knows it. Covered in hummus, Pepper's eyes intensively flit around the kitchen as she replays every action I made from when she came in the door to right now. I watch her put all the pieces together. An unbelievable glee overcomes me.
Did we just have a domestic stand battle?
I think we did, yes. That's right. I took a page out of your own playbook and you didn't figure it out. Gotcha. Her eyes lock back on me, and a series of emotions surge across her face. Anger, fear, amusement, all of them mixed with shock and surprise. I was right about her being brilliant, all of this being a charade. The feeling is great. I couldn't be happier that she's so much more than she pretends to be. So here's the place where Pepper concedes. This is the moment where she acknowledges she's invested, but she studies me, having dropped the obnoxious Pepper act as easy as if dropping her clothes to jump into the shower. And in this moment, fully clothed and without any of her gratitude, she seems more naked than I've ever seen her. Oh. The gravity of it slowly sinks through my dense skull. This is the first time in her life that anyone has figured out her game. Guess I didn't consider how big of a deal that is. Pepper stands at the point of a great chasm, a point in her story with two choices. She could step forward and over the edge, admit to me that yes, it's all been an act, or she could retreat, step back into the role of just an overly clever, mischievous cat. Using Pepper and timid in the same sentence feels sinful. But if she's too timid to acknowledge that she's been figured out, Pepper could still ignore everything that just happened. She could accuse me of messing with her and walk out of the room, taking the why she's been faking who she is with her.
Seems sinful, you say. A sin kitty, if you will.
I guess it was all a game.
And Helicopter Man isn't even here for this one. Well played, Jail Chaser. Well played. Good job.
Oh, beautiful.
We've been we've been played this whole time.
I was like, I think we just got played like a fiddle in all 3 routes, honestly.
Yes.
She could turn the act back on and deny it all. There's no argument I could raise against that. Challenge, denial, game over. Why would she do that? Because if she admits I was right, she'll have to show me the real her from now on. There will be no going back, ever. What if I don't like the real her? My faltering smile drops completely. My eyes tell her, please...
See, this is a thing...
Hmm?
I don't know. I have to ask, Professor. I don't know. Is this a thing that people actually do? Is like put on like personas for other people? I don't know. I've always been very straightforward and just like, you know, it's too much work.
See,
and so I just do what I'm just as I am.
Here's my thoughts on the matter. And everyone at home can take this for what they want to. I discovered in the past couple years that I'm on the spectrum. I'm autistic. And that comes with a couple interesting drawbacks, not the least of which is I can't read people at all. And part of the reasons why I struggle with other people is there's a lot of unwritten social rules that people just expect you to abide by. They expect you to read between the lines. They'll say one thing, mean something completely different, and you're just left to interpret it. But people like me have no idea how to play that game. If you're not very direct and very honest with me, I just don't know what to make of it. And I just have to assume that everyone's operating out of good faith, which a lot of the time they aren't. Now, I think to a certain greater or lesser extent, in every social situation, everyone's kind of playing the masquerade. Everyone's putting on the mask that's appropriate for the situation. You're at work. You have your, HR-friendly rules and regulations mask on, and you're, smiling, making idle banter at the water cooler. I don't think that's necessarily lying, but it's how you carry yourself in that environment. In terms of interpersonal relationships, things get considerably more complicated because being open and vulnerable just doesn't come naturally to some people. I suspect there's truth to this. I suspect that there are people who do have and will. But for me, it doesn't make sense to me because it basically bounces off my thick skull even harder than Noodles. Like, I don't know. I can't read people for anything. I can't read intonation particularly well. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt till they give me reason to believe otherwise, but I'm simply just not that sharp. So I don't know what else to tell you at that point. Yeah.
I mean, being on the spectrum myself, and then also being like, well, heavily blind. Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's difficult, and on top of how litigious everyone is now, that it's like a lot of times it's just better to be like, it could be interpreted this way. It's best not to think about it. Yep. They're probably just being nice.
Keep your mouth shut and stay in your lane, and nothing can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, you miss out on opportunities when you do that, but you also miss out on a lot of headache.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
My faltering smile drops completely. My eyes tell her, plead with her.
Smile and wave.
Smile and wave, Noodles. My eyes tell her, plead with her that Pepper doesn't back down from a challenge. Any challenge. Come on, Pepper, don't back down now. I can feel that part of her wants to fight still. She swallows, quelling it.
It turns out that, the feisty tomboy isn't actually a feisty tomboy. She just puts up that front.
So that people assume.
Because she...
Yeah.
Is this another one of those things where she was never actually like this? It's just Goro, wanted her to be like this?
Or she developed the persona for similar reasons as Goro. As I said, Goro himself is clearly smarter than he lets on. But, he has this very playful personality, which may itself be an act. Him, coping for whatever thing that he feels he needs to compensate for. And Pepper basically...
Everyone assumes that, I'm just some freewheeling pervert when I actually have a STEM degree. I'm actually a deeply, sensitive poet.
I don't know. For all we
Actually,
know,
no, I don't.
he likes writing poetry and maybe he's like
I don't think that he is, considering that he mocks Noodles for it.
that's true.
Having that poetic soul. I don't think he is, but I think he probably is far deeper than he lets on. Yes.
Almost certainly, yeah. Pepper turns fully away from me, giving me her back. She faces the cold oven. The numbers on the timer continue to tick, counting down. Trembling, with great effort, she raises her sticky hand towards the oven's controls. As if frozen in time, or as if there was an invisible, impenetrable wall between her and the buttons, her hand stops mid-motion. Then she presses the cook button. A moment later, she presses the frozen button, the casserole button, and then start. Quick whoosh.
See?
Emanates from the oven.
I think not only can she read, I think she knows how to operate the oven.
Yeah, she is definitely sharper than she lets on. Thick whoosh emanates from the oven as the appliance complies, releasing and igniting the gas, which immediately heats the air inside the cooker. A different kind of whoosh goes through me. Pepper's eyes slowly find me. A strange quiet blankets us.
You're supposed to say "excuse me" after that happens.
She wipes a hand on her skirt, and as if surrendering a weapon, she pulls my phone out of the back of her waistband and puts it on the counter. I lay Veronica's phone down also. For several minutes, she stands, blinking her eyes at me.
Forgive me. I had to step away for a bit in order to help Mama Pugum with some...
No.
Some, just stuff around the house. So I must have missed the bit where apparently, Noodles is in a like Mexican standoff hostage situation.
So what ended up happening is our theory was correct. Pepper was stealing the phone and reading the texts. The step that we had not accounted for was that she was going to Veronica's house and having Veronica, quote unquote, read the messages for her and asking questions. Like she asked if we had ever kissed the waitress and she wanted to know who the waitress was. And then she asked Veronica if Noodles had ever kissed Veronica.
Oh, no.
Yes. It's exactly what you think. And even Veronica's like, she's jealous because she likes you. And Noodles kind of had this like mental breakdown spiraling down the rabbit hole of like, oh my god, she's actually a super genius, but like to what end? What is she trying to play at? And I'm like, Noodles, you are the only one dumb enough to not put this together already. It's like she likes you and she's jealous of competition and she wants to know what the competition looks like and what she would have to deal with if there was competition. And
I was about to say, this is like, I'm gonna step away. Speaking of standing at a cliff, I feel like I am at a cliff right now, and I'm just gonna step away. I'm like, I am not gonna continue this. What I was about to say.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Cheater.
Yeah. Cheater. How can you cheat if you're not in a relationship?
No. She means cheater as in he's cheating at the game.
Oh.
Not that he's being unfaithful to her.
Well, I mean, once again, I'd like to point out, is it really cheating to outwit your opponent?
No, but, she's still gonna, grouse. So...
Sore cheater, more like sore loser.
My smile explodes. I'm simply happy. More happy than I had hoped I could be. I step over to Pepper and hug her. She's covered in hummus, and I don't care.
This is the reason why, Noodles is a better man than me. I probably would have teased her at this point.
All's fair in love and war, my dear. Pepper is rigid in my arms. It's like hugging a plank of wood. I hold her and wait for her to relax and return my hug.
Interesting choice of words there, Noodle.
But she doesn't. Pepper steps out of my arms, turns and bolts out the back door. Stepping outside to catch sight of Pepper as she effortlessly leaps from a thick upper branch of the flowering tree, disappearing onto the roof. Pepper, I say too loudly. She doesn't reply. Pepper stares up at the stars. Seeing her up there triggers my fear of heights, stirring up the juices in my stomach. I swear my feet feel like they're gripping the ground beneath me. Not wanting to bring Veronica outside or wake Claudia and Shimi, I call again, this time keeping my voice down. Pepper, come down. Let's talk. She ignores me. I thought she'd be happy that I was clever enough to figure out her game. Is she playing another game now? I don't know, and I'm not sure what to do. Our physical distance seems to mirror a slowly growing emotional one. The distance is vast and empty as the void of space above. The feeling of helplessness is not one I handle well, and misplaced anger wells up. Hey, seriously, come down. I'm not gloating. I just want to talk with you. Pepper, you're being unfair. Go. I'm not going to go anywhere. We need to talk. No. Yes, all this time you've been lying, faking who you are. No. Yes. No. No.
He's doing the Bugs Bunny, reverse psychology.
Turn it around on her.
No. Yes. Wait.
It praises his progress. She returns her attention to the cold infinity above us. I watch Pepper stare long into the night sky. She seems so lost. Finally, she speaks. Pepper won't run away. Goro leave Pepper here. Many times Pepper won't run away. Sometimes I really miss the obvious. When we broke her Sin Kitty book, she ended up on the roof. I knew she wanted distance, but run away. Were there other times too? Where would you go? Pepper thought, be sashimi, live free, be wild. You considered living feral? Pepper almost go. Her tone is indignant about her ability to survive like a feral. She could do it. It's clear in what she says. There's even a wistful hint about her voice. But free-range life no fun. Pepper's spoiled, Neko. Spirited mood.
At least she's self-aware.
Like she's honest about it.
I mean, you know what? Hey, I'll say this. That is better than a lot of people.
That's very true.
So,
her spirited mood.
Hey, she can read. She's self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
She, has a good grasp of what, how where she is, who she is emotionally. I'm just saying, she's well on her way to being to having self-mastery as a stoic.
That's true. Her spirited mood fades to defeat. I wonder if she resents Shimi, maybe for no other reason than that Shimi is a reminder of what she lost. I think it would suck living like Shimi, especially after living a soft human life. Pepper, prisoner. She looks at me accusingly. Is life...
Oh, that's sad.
Is life here really that bad? What life? Pepper fake life, Claudia fake life, or you fake life? My fake? You no friends, no job, no go out, you... Lashing out, Pepper says things that push me away. It's an ugly kind of game. Even though she cuts herself off, maybe even regretting having said it, it hits home. She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. Those are all valid points.
Yep. After several moments of silence, I come to a conclusion. I keep forgetting that this is the greatest change that could ever happen in Pepper's world, even bigger than Goro dumping her here. I exposed her act. Her whole life can never be the same now. I really have undone everything she's known. Of course, there's going to be friction trying to figure out the way forward. When she turned on the oven, in that one act, she admitted everything. That was a huge leap of faith for her. So now it's my turn. As I pull myself up to the main branch, my heart races. Just don't look down. My senses become heightened as I inch my way up the tree and along the branch, climbing closer to Pepper.
I see this now.
The dewy moisture.
Good job, Noodles.
Yep. He's finally putting
I'm
it
just
together.
thinking. Well, it's not just that, bro. He is facing his fears in order to admit that, he himself is, kind of putting on an act, too.
That's true.
So he is becoming vulnerable to her just the way she did to him.
The dewy moisture of the fresh evening air, the rough feel and dank smell of bark on my hands and against my face. Everything is amplified. Even the oily hummus on Pepper's clothes mixed with her perfumed sweat is rich in my nose. I have to pry my hands from each branch.
Bro, you really need another shower.
Yeah, seriously. I have to pry my hands from each branch as I force myself higher. I should not be up here. I have to be up here. At the sound of the branches moving under my weight, Pepper peeks over the edge of the roof. Through the tunnel vision of fear, I can see her much better now. There is not a trace of her old act in her eyes, only defeat. An empty, forlorn longing, slightly tinted with a curiosity as to what the hell I'm doing in a tree. As I get closer to the roofline, the branch sags. The moment under me causes a surge of vertigo. Every cell in my body clings to the branch. This is probably high enough. I'm not going to abandon you, and I'm not going to go. You're my neko. I insist against the nerves and panic. As I calm myself down, Pepper offers me a soft smile. Once I get my breathing back to somewhat normal, I gently start prodding her. I have to understand what she needs before I can offer it to her. Hey, does Goro know how smart you are? Unexpectedly, she gives me a wicked smile, a really creepy, evil grin. She shrugs. Nah, Goro think Pepper's simple. Pepper not mind. Dark cloud passes over Pepper's mood. Goro. Goro think Pepper dumb. All think Pepper dumb. Pepper act certain way. Get what Pepper want. Pepper just play game. Always win. She says, always win, like it's a curse. Pepper act dumb so much, sometimes forget Pepper smart. Forget real Pepper. Forget Pepper awesome neko. So you've always pretended to be simple-minded, and no one has ever known it was a game. Pepper always win game. People have low expectations when it comes to nekos, and Pepper never gave them reason to think otherwise. Meanwhile, she's plotting and manipulating everyone right under their noses. I saw her do it with Veronica. She's done this with me, and I'm sure she did it with Goro. But it still doesn't fully answer why she did it. I'll give her time. I'm sure she'll reveal the rest when she's ready. A different question forms in my head. So, why me? Why did you let me see the real Pepper? Pepper smiles softly again. No, let. You see. You no see game. No one. You see, you different. Maybe now, Pepper be different too. There's hesitation in her voice, but she has more to confess. After a long pause, she speaks again, the words catch in her throat. Kitten Pepper's so scared, locked in basement with rats. If rats find Pepper, rats kill Pepper, eat Pepper. Kitten Pepper alone, only no fear in basement. This I didn't expect. But Kitten Pepper learn, kill rats, get reward. The more rats Pepper kill, the more better Pepper treated. Pepper fast learn kill rats. You don't like hunting rats. Pepper big now, kill rats no problem. But Kitten Pepper. Goro always brags about what a great hunter she is, and the great work she did as a kitten killing the rats in their basement, sometimes waiting all day before she'd strike. But she wasn't waiting. She was hiding. There's no way he had any idea that she was terrified down there. Even as a kid, he would have done something to help Kitten Pepper if he thought that she was scared. Family want awesome hunter. Pepper become awesome hunter. Goro see Pepper with dead rat. Say most awesome thing ever. Say Pepper awesome neko. Pepper like that. Nightmares though, sometimes still. She played a perfectly crafted part, acting happy about the situation to get the right attention from Goro's family, becoming what they wanted while hiding herself in plain sight, getting a front row seat in the world of a human family. All just an act. Always what is Pepper, never who is Pepper.
This is literally the, everyone asks, what is, a man, never asks how is a man.
Yeah.
That's rough. That is really sad.
It is. Who is the real Pepper? Looking up at the stars, she just shrugs. Smart as Pepper is, she has no answer to the question, who am I? She's never had a chance to answer that.
How would you, how would you even answer that yourself? Good Lord, I don't know if I could answer that.
That's a hefty question that, both philosophers and lay people have struggled with since the dawn of human existence. It's complicated, and I doubt there's ever one specific answer, let alone one that can be quantified in a simple expression.
Well, the issue there is the one person who would know, he's not, he's mum to the subject, so.
Yeah.
It's the darndest thing.
Pepper act, but get bored, lonely. Pepper still dream. One day someone beat Pepper game. She locks her eyes with mine. Then Pepper get to be Pepper. I still have a lot of questions, but they can wait. At this moment, I'm humbled by the faith Pepper put in me. It's a huge, fragile gift she entrusted to me, one I'll need to take great care with. Admitting this, sharing it with me, makes me feel very special. I'm glad that I'm going to get to meet the real Pepper. My arms and legs are starting to ache from tightly holding onto this branch, and I promise to give her a good life. She regards me warily, looking as if she wants to believe it's okay to be herself, whoever that is. I can see she still needs more convincing. And okay, so my life for the most part is pretty dull. It's true, I don't really do a lot. But I have friends. Claudia and Shimi are my friends. Veronica's my friend. Goro's my friend, even though I don't know when I'll see him again. I smile and force myself farther along the branch, closer to Pepper. And you're my friend. It's not a perfect life, and maybe not much of a life compared to a lot of other people's, but so what? Overall, I'm happy. My job is taking care of you. I make food for Claudia and Shimi and you. I keep you safe. Why do you think I do these things? Human stuff. No, Pepper, you're smarter than that. You know that I do them because I care about you and I want you to be happy. Pepper actually blushes. What means care about Pepper? She knows what it means. This is another game, but it's okay, because it's one we can play together. This is Pepper's way of asking if I really have feelings for her. Another risky gamble on her part. It's the first time she so blatantly allowed herself to be in a position where she could be hurt without an act to hide behind. Maybe you like Pepper. I don't answer for several moments as I try to align my thoughts. There's so much implied for both of us in that answer.
Oh, Lord. Kiss her, you fool.
I know. There will never be a better time.
This out of all the times there can be, this is the time that you shout from the rooftops, you know. And like, this genius is my girl. And then you proceed, you know, to do... What, is it the Mamas and the Papas? I think it is.
That sounds right. Finally,
yeah. There you go.
I take a deep breath and tell her, "You're getting warmer." The look she gives me is murder. It causes me to grip the branch tighter, if that's even possible. I'm as grateful as nothing on the roof her to throw at me. Flushed and blushing even harder now, she coyly prods. Maybe you like Pepper a lot. I think you're getting even warmer. Pepper wrestles with the torrent of emotions competing and conflicting inside her. She allows joy to overtake her. Her voice gets very quiet. Maybe you love... What's that, Pepper? I couldn't hear you. She blushes hard as I tease her, but even so, my heart is in my throat. My voice squeaks. I can't believe we're at this moment together, me hanging on a branch and Pepper on the roof. A gap of empty space between us, but a connection so rich and strong pulling us closer together. My head swims, but in a good way. Maybe you... And as red as she's getting, she's as scared as she's feeling. She wants to hear me say the words. Pepper tries to look away from me, but she can't. She forces the words out of both of us. Maybe you love Pepper. No, maybe. I love Pepper. She stares hard at me, searching for any trace of what I said might be untrue, wanting to believe me, but skeptical. I remove any doubt. How could I not love Pepper? Pepper is an awesome person. Pepper, awesome person. One more! I laugh. Nervous excitement warms me on a level I've never had with anyone. I know that Pepper is good for me. She gets my exercising with her bounce. Her antics and demands for my attention keep me spending most of the day spending most of the day surfing the internet and social media on my phone. I can be good for her too.
Oh, hashtag relatable.
I know, right? I'll give her the support and discover who she really is. I do love Pepper. Now, is it okay if I love Pepper on the ground? I need to get out of this tree before I have a heart attack.
Do you love Pepper on the roof? Do you love her with the... I can't think of a thing that rhymes with roof.
Do you love Pepper with the truth?
For the truth.
For the truth.
There you go, for the truth.
The moment
Do
we're back
you love
on the
Pepper on the ground? Do you love Pepper at the pound?
That could be taken in more than one way. First, we're talking about...
Yes, it can.
First, we're talking about Veronica's back door, and now we're talking about taking Pepper into the pound. Like, damn, dude.
Well, it's not, it's to the, it could be, to animal control, not to, to the other. I'm just digging myself deeper in a hole now I think about it. Let's
Yeah,
continue.
you are, yes. When we're back on the ground, Pepper gets excited. It's a nervous kind of excitement. I'll never get used to how quickly she can emotionally switch gears, but having her look at me with that spark in her eyes, I'd be lying if I didn't admit the delight I'm finding in it. A warmth blooms from my cheeks. I blush a bit from her smile. Pepper, want to try something? Her expression changes, becoming identical to the one she wore when she asked for her special reward. That was when she wanted to try kissing, and that quickly got out of hand. I stifle my train of thought, which immediately assumes the most perverted, pornographic, and deranged scenarios possible. What means kinky? Pepper, what is it you want to try? She steals a glance at me, then looks away. She can't seem to figure out how to phrase it. This is making me nervous as hell. Can't help myself.
Oh, dear.
My mind pictures the endless parade of girls that girls brought home. Types of debauchery that Pepper's likely been exposed to would make a sailor blush. What if she wants something that's just too much? Do I tell her no? I can't tell her no. Not now. I may be in real trouble. Pepper closes her eyes and swallows. She mumbles something that I can't make out. What?
Pepper won't eat food with clothes on. Did you see that, by the way?
Yes, I saw that meme.
Okay.
Finally, she focuses herself, looking hard at me. Her words are a whisper, but clear and determined. Pepper want try. Hold hand. Oh my.
Oh, no.
How lewd, Pepper. My laughter is explosive and uncontrollable, shattering the quiet of the night. Holding hand. Part of me laughs out of relief that she didn't say something else. That Sin Kitty book had me pretty worried. Part of me laughs because how adorable Pepper's expression was when she asked to try holding hands, of all things. Laughing, I steady myself so I don't collapse. Pepper's bearing is less steady. I attempt and fail to stifle my amusement, which Pepper has taken as a challenge. Her face and fist tighten and curl. She winds up. I see the punch coming and I'm powerless to stop it. Tears are coming from my eyes and I'm holding my sides. Her punch is effective. Connecting very solidly to my chest is the type of punch that makes one reevaluate life choices. It hurts, but still I'm laughing. She winds up to hit me again. I plead between laughs. No, please. I totally want to hold hands. I think it's a great idea, really. I'm sorry. You just look so cute. The word resets her. Cute? Pepper untenses as she contemplates the word. You think Pepper cute? Biting hard on the inside of my lip, I finally calm myself.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, of course I do. I think you're very cute. Pepper blushes hard, then winds up and hits me again in the same spot. Ow! Yeah. The bruise there.
It was at that moment that, Noodles pondered if she actually was, some kind of different personality, or if, she's just being more honest with herself.
Either or. I offer Pepper my hand.
Because, I mean, she's not really, significantly different in terms of the way she's acting.
That's true. But they also have a certain rapport already. So I think that, Noodles is just going to have to live with the fact that he is going to get punched a lot for the rest of his life.
Oh, no, how awful.
Very slowly, she reaches to take it. Pepper's hand is slender, but there's a wiry strength behind it. She seems a little uncomfortable, but doesn't let go. Her shy smile tells me she's very, very happy. I don't think I could get her to let go of my hand at this point if I tried. I wouldn't try anyway. Since there's nothing going on except for the two of us standing in the dark holding hands, it's quite an awkward moment. We must be an odd picture. Pepper covered in oily hummus, me with bits of tree bark all over my shirt and pants, holding hands. Both of us looking everywhere but at each other. I rub my thumb along the top of her hand. It makes Pepper jump slightly. She looks at me like she might hit me again. The sudden, surprised expression on my face shows her that I don't mean anything by it, at least not anything bad. Some of the tension relaxes away and her grip on my hand tightens slightly. Pepper stares dead ahead. Even in the dark, I can see her smile grow big and goofy, maybe even goofier than my own. Pepper's thumb rubs along the top of my hand, and she peeks at me to gauge my reaction. Pleased with myself, she looks away again. Pepper, awesome person. She says it reassuringly and squeezes my hand tighter. There's a whole new life ahead of you now, one where you don't have to pretend anymore. How are you feeling about that? Scary? Excited? You won't be alone. I'm happy that I'll get to be part of it. The thought makes both of us blush and turn away again. Holding Pepper's hand in one hand and the empty bowl of hummus in the other, I survey the giant mess we made in the kitchen, suddenly overcome with a bout of existential dread. It's everywhere.
Oh,
There's hummus all over the floor, splattered on cabinets and stuck to the walls, startled by a wet, clumpy something that drops from the ceiling onto the stove. Pepper wants to do kisses. Totally ignoring the mess around us, Pepper states her demand in her most innocent voice. Instead of responding to her comment, I turn her game around. I'll tell you what, you clean and I'll shower. Then I'll clean and make us dinner while you shower. We'll eat, play a game, and then either story time or kisses. I pretend that I don't know there's a game going on. As clever as I'm feeling at this moment, I know that Pepper's already turned up her tricks. Dinner is going to be the dinner game. Story time will be the story time game. Kisses will be, well, we'll take it slow. Nope, Pepper wants to do kisses now. And so in the kitchen, splattered with hummus, we play the negotiation game. I end up giving in and agree to do both story time and kisses. Pepper does a good job cleaning up the messy kitchen while I jump in the shower. The water isn't... the water that should be draining down the pipe isn't. It's collecting in the tub, quickly turning the shower into a bath. Lifting the little lever that drains the water has no effect. Reaching down to clear the obstruction reveals it's completely clogged with hair. I pull and pull and pull. Like a magician pulling an endless string of scarves out of their fist, and thin tangle of hair comes from one human, and 3 nekos comes out, and out, and out. There's no end in sight. You never really anticipate all the effects and problems having a riot of nekos in one house creates. With both hands, I yank long bits of blonde... What's that?
I was about to say, is that what they call, a group of nekos?
3 or more is a riot. Sawbones went over that in Pepper's Path, yes. I yank out long bits of blonde, black, brown, and tan hair from the tub drain. It's all entangled together into a thin rope and resist releasing its hold on the innards of the plumbing. Slowly I manage to get much of it loose, but even coming out in unruly handfuls, the water only drains slowly. If I don't get this cleared soon, I'm going to have to turn off the shower. The tub's already halfway full. At that moment, the bathroom door slides open. Oh, God, I didn't even think to lock it. Well, well, well. A very happy Pepper poses with a hand on her cocked hip. I cover my nakedness with one hand while the other still wrestles with the hair clogging the drain. Pepper's eyes gleam in shining copper and mischief. Hey, knock that off. What? She gives me a smile. The same smile the spider gives to a fly when inviting it in for tea. Warily I smile back. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Wait, there's no way you could have cleaned up the kitchen yet.
Do Pepper really?
Pepper takes her top off. What are you doing? Pepper needs shower time and wants to do kisses. Her top drops to the floor and she starts to work on her skirt.
Pepper thought that's what, Noodles wanted.
Stop. We made a deal. The negotiation. You have to clean the kitchen first. Pepper laughs at me like only an idiot would believe that she was ever going to clean the kitchen by herself. We had a deal! Some neko person, Pepper proclaimed. Dopey human person, play wrong game. Huh. I actually thought I was winning the negotiation game. Pepper was never playing my game. She was playing Pepper Want to Do Kisses the whole time. Clearly I lost both.
Well, faced with the consequences of my own actions, Noodles said.
She steps into the shower with me. I realize I may never win another game against Pepper. At least I won the one that mattered the most.
Yeah, that is kind of the difficulty of the eternal conflict between male and female.
Yep. Pepper cheat where? Love and war, all fair. Pepper want do kisses.
Oh,
Giving up on...
this is the issue. Every single day, sensitive young men are taken advantage of by,
by rowdy
wily
cat
vixens.
girls.
No, see, I was going to say wily vixens. You probably said, I don't know, is that nicer?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Comment down below.
Go to the comment section and you tell us. Giving up on both the hair clog and trying to argue with Pepper, I turn and face her.
I laughed and I spilled my coffee.
Dang. As water runs down our bodies, Pepper
Yeah, it's
clumsily...
perfectly good coffee.
That is sad. I'm sorry. We shall, have a moment of silence on behalf of your cup of coffee.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Also, although Noodles is, face right there is kind of my face right now, too. It's like, aww.
As the water rolls down our bodies, Pepper clumsily puts her arms around me.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. It's like, I thought he was, dead inside. He actually is looking happy.
No, he's pretty happy with this turn of events. As the water runs down our bodies, Pepper clumsily puts her arms around me. Her nervousness has returned. She makes a small, anxious laugh as she leans in close and her skin makes contact with mine.
Oh my.
Her uneven breathing in my ear causes the fluttering excitement in my chest to intensify. At the crossroads of forever cementing our bond, I hesitate. And the closest thing she's known to an equal. The only one she's trusted enough to let down her veil. To step beyond her act and show the true her. The real Pepper. My arms find her shoulders. With difficulty, I push away from Pepper. She holds on tighter, confused not wanting to release me. Then, all at once does. I step out of the shower. Hey! Clogging tub filling up with shower water and hummus is not the place for this. I offer her my hand, which she eventually takes.
That is true facts.
I touch her shoulders again.
Shower is not the place for this.
No, it is not. Actually, it's awkward, clumsy, and the water will actually make things infinitely worse. So...
Yeah, but it sounds like you have experience with this.
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. I am simply stating a scientific fact that water is not, in fact, a lubricant, and the shower is awkward and you might slip and hurt yourself. You should be careful while playing in the shower, kids. Be careful while playing in shower. I touch her shoulders again. This time I don't push away. This time I let my arms find their way to her. One hand supports her at the base of her neck and the other slides to her lower back. Pepper smiles. It's a simple smile. Now Pepper hesitates. I can tell that for the first time in her life she has no plan. No cunning scheme. No one to manipulate and trick to get her way.
Well, that's a frickin' lie.
What she wants is already here. Now you're shy? The expression she's giving me isn't shyness. Pepper's eyes tell the story of a girl on the edge of a brand new adventure, savoring the moment before she takes a step that will forever change her world. And this time, for the first time, is the true Pepper that's the architect of that change. Ready. I'm uncertain if that's a statement, that she's ready, or if she's asking me if I'm ready. Scooping her up in my arms causes her to squeak. Lifting her so that we're eye to eye makes her smile. Pepper's lips press to mine. Not the fumbling and clumsy first kiss of teenagers, a slow and deliberate kiss with just a tinge of nervousness. My lips relax and follow her lead, matching the slow, continuous pulling of her lips to mine and mine to hers. Knowing how smart and strategic her mind is, the fact that Pepper is simply following her passion allows me to detect her surfacing insecurity. As our heads gently roll and our kissing becomes larger and our breathing deeper, her confidence, maybe something else, pushes away all her hesitation. Pressed together, our lips and tongues break apart only to hungrily reconnect. I carry her over and seat her atop the dryer. Well, this is how you dry nekos, don't you know? Hee!
Oh, I don't think it's... don't think there's going to be drying going on.
Yeah. Pepper squeals her naked bottom, suddenly finding herself on top of cold metal of an appliance. Oopsie, maybe this will help. I turn on the dryer. Pepper's eyes grow wide as a clothes dryer's warmth and vibration will... Kids, if you don't know what's going on, please click off the video and ask your, mom babysitter for advice.
Oh dear.
Her trembling, amplified by the dryer's vibrations, causes her to make a soft mewing sound. Ooh, this means kinky. I have to laugh.
Oh dear.
Why do I have the feeling that you've known what kinky means this whole time? But Pepper cuts me off, firmly pulling my mouth to hers. Our heat instantly competes with the heat of the dryer. Competition, another game. The best games are the ones we both win. Pepper pulls me closer, raising a knee. She slides the inside of her thigh along the outside of my leg, then wraps it around mine. Her tail follows. They're holding hands, kids. Pepper grips me, holding tight to my waist. The dryer's vibration encourages us. It's warm.
That is the most enthusiastic holding hands I've ever seen.
I know, right? The dryer's vibrations encourage us. Its warmth and oscillations creating a disconnection from the solid world around us, enhancing the sensations we're creating together. A world away, the shower is still running. The water crests to the edge and spills over. Now no longer contained, it flows over at every part. I don't think we're even talking about the shower anymore, Noodles.
That's the beauty of it. It's a metaphor, but it can be read in like 6 or 7 different levels.
It can. Like going over a waterfall, we hold each other and ride the dizzying rush. They played chess.
They played very enthusiastic chess.
Pepper rolls her sleeping head onto my shoulder. Her damp hair tickles my cheek, though my smile was there anyway. Her soft, peaceful snoring makes my smile grow as I ponder all the facets of her personality. I would never have guessed Pepper to be so complicated. In my wildest dreams, I never could have seen myself cuddling this porcupine as I am right now. Yet, here we are. Contentedly, I simply lie next to her, blissfully cramped on her window seat bed. The weight of her head on my shoulder and her tail on my leg feel nice, not a burden at all. Unable to sleep, I get up, dress, and quietly head to the kitchen. The rich fragrance of the oily hummus fills the room, as does the oily hummus itself. Pepper has been reborn, and this was the necessary mess from that birth. That's the weirdest way to... Before I can finish my remark to myself, Pepper joins me. I grin at her and tease. Oh, you're awake. Did you come to help me clean? Yep. She sleepily returns my smile. She doesn't move from her spot. Pepper merely smirks and watches me wipe still moist hummus from the toaster. In a quiet voice, I chide. You're here for moral support. Let's go, help clean. Maybe Pepper help clean for 2 chores reward. Do not start. She laughs. My reaction, of course, was exactly what her teasing intended to provoke. Pepper picks up the toppled bowl from where we left it during my earlier failed negotiations. She uses it and a spatula to collect glops of its sticky former contents from the face of the cabinets and countertop. We pick up a phone off the counter. Keeping our voices down, we look and see. Goro. Soft hurt returns to Pepper's eyes. It's far away, but I can see it. Maybe he abandoned both of us, but I miss him. Pepper, forgive. He's still big asshole, but Pepper loved Goro. Yeah, he sure is. I quietly laugh.
I can only imagine, a certain professor, saying the same thing about, certain Ditaku. Just, he's a big asshole.
But he's my brother, so here we are.
He's my brother.
Still, I need to thank him. After all, if he hadn't abandoned her, we wouldn't be together right now.
Wow, okay.
Feels like it should be much later than it is, and before it gets any later, we decide that Pepper should head next door and take Veronica's phone back to her while I keep cleaning. Knock softly on her door, don't scare her, and tell her thanks. Tomorrow I'm going to read all of Goro's messages and write them back. I'm just not sure what I'm going to say. When Pepper returns, we quietly clean, finding some order in all of the chaos.
Oh, no.
What's that?
I'm sorry. I think I screwed up. I'm playing Uma Musume while I'm doing this, and I got the wrong skill.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Maybe you can make it
No,
work.
it's not.
You can make
Yeah,
it work. I have faith in you.
yeah,
I mean, you're playing horse girls while playing cat girls. It's actually rather economical.
yes. I'm being efficient.
After a
In fact,
while,
actually, I have it on separate devices. No.
well, that's double efficiency right there. After a while, we take a break to eat. The chicken in the oven will keep till tomorrow, and we decide to have a simple meal: sandwiches. Pepper insists on peanut butter and sliced dill pickle sandwiches. The combination, like us, is
Oh, wow. That's. I mean, I as we've stated, that's not the most unusual thing, but that's still pretty unusual.
yeah. The combination, like us, is weird, but surprisingly works well together. Hey, I'm glad you didn't run away. I said out of nowhere, but I mean it. Pepper swallows and remarks. Yeah, Pepper glad too. I think you would have gotten bored out there. You're a person, Neko, like Claudia, not a pharaoh like Shimi. You're too human. Pepper stops eating and looks at me flatly. Pepper not human. Pepper Neko. I know that, Pep. Hush. Smart Neko, smart human, not same, though smart, but different smart. She explains that I'm wrong in ways I didn't even realize. You see Pepper as person. Others only see me Neko, always. Pepper's obvious words have so much deeper meaning. She knows it, but it takes me time to realize. Like in a movie or something from a comic book, Pepper is like a long-tailed alien who crashed down on our strange planet of humans. To everyone else, no matter what she does, she'll be just a Neko. In that moment, I finally get it. I fully understand why she played dumb all this time. When I learned that you could read, I joked to myself you could be famous, a Neko that can read and write. Pepper also realized it. That's why she had to hide that she was a smart Neko. If she didn't, people would make her famous. Famous Neko, very, very bad for smart Neko. At best, she would be an interesting oddity, a sideshow attraction. Step right up and see the smartest Neko on the planet. Watch her write her name and read advertisements for a new Oopsie Poopsie brand toilet cleaner. At worst, she'd be a lab rat, taken by the military, confined and tested to discover why she's smarter than other Nekos, unlock her secrets so they could better weaponize all the military Nekos. Either way, her celebrity would be exploited. She'd be a real prisoner. I guess I connected smarter with more human-like, but it isn't. Smarter Pepper won't be more like a human. She will be a much smarter Neko. What will that even be like? Pepper glances kindly at me, patient with me as I can make the connection, worried that I may not like what I'm realizing. My little voice says something that makes my blood freeze. She's smarter than me now. She's going to find out. She's going to find out how smart she can be, and I'm going to help her. Even thinking in her oblique, fractal, Neko way, she's already brighter than most people I know. Easily the greatest con artist that ever lived. I don't think either of us knows the answer to what she'll be like in a month, a year. Guess we'll find out. The look I offer tells her that she's safe here. Well, at least that means you can't pretend that you don't know how to do your chores now. As both our fears fade, Pepper smiles a satisfied smile. Chores rewards! Which quickly grows into a sinister grin that I find slightly terrifying. Pepper loves games and views me as a worthy opponent now. She's just turned up the difficulty setting on all of our games. Uh-oh. What have I done? I don't want to even imagine what deranged plan you're formulating in your evil maze of a brain, evil Neko. Pepper not evil. Pepper awesome. Awesome at being evil. My tease makes her laugh. We take our time with the cleaning, which is interrupted several times when our quiet verbal jousting turns into wrestling and chases. By the time we finish cleaning the kitchen and the bathroom, the sun's already rising. The soft light of a new day spills in through the windows, warming the quiet room where Pepper and I relax side by side. Tired but satisfied, there's a lot going on in both of our heads still, but the prevailing emotion is optimism. As if on cue, we turn towards each other and smile. So, Pepper, what do you want to do today? She acts coy and shy, a facade she dons so well that it sends a shiver down my spine. Stop doing that. It's really creepy. Pepper bursts out laughing. Ah, you face. She's making fun of my shocked expression. You're evil. She starts to protest. Yes, yes, Pepper awesome too. Sheesh. Ha, you love evil Pepper. You love evil Pepper. You love evil Pepper. Nutty Neko. She grins in spite of herself, then she nods at me. Pepper like play with you. I'm happy to play with you, Pepper. I think you're a lot of fun. And a pain, mostly in the ass. She does hit me for that one. Ow. Seriously, you are fun to play with. Pepper smiles and thinks for a moment. She nods to herself, looks up, and closes her eyes. Today, Pepper want unpack. Good. That's a victory for both of us. When she looks at me again, the warm joy of approval morphs. Peppery spark ignites in her eyes. Like a wildfire spreads across her face, erupting in Pepper's devious grin. I have a sudden sensation of prey, the feeling of being stalked. Pepper has my curiosity piqued, as she always does. I respond with my own sly but halting smile. Anything could happen at this moment. I don't wait long to find out. Pepper looks down the hallway, then back at me. 9. What is not? She casually rises and walks over to the kitchen.
8, 7.
Oh no! Looking me dead in the eye.
You count down from 10.
Oh, good. Her Digimon partner is Diaboromon. Because of course.
No, actually, it's not. Hey, Rio, how's it going?
Oh, good. Better and better.
No one's gonna get that.
Looking at me dead in the eye, Pepper reaches over and slides my keys to the edge of the counter. She laughs as I start to admonish her. Despite this being my only set of keys, I laugh along with her. Pepper knocks the keys to the floor. I lunge.
Oh,
Whee!
good. Oh, good.
She's faster, swooping to grab the keys off the floor and already on her way down the hallway. 3, 4, 5. 7, 8. She Pepper turns and smirks, taunting me and jingling the keys. She removes her top and steps into the bathroom. I hear the shower turn on. She can operate the shower. Why am I not surprised? 1 more! She calls out to me, which gets me moving again. 8 and 1 more makes 9. Nutty, naughty Neko. Knowing Pepper will always want 1 more makes me grin. The Peppery end. All right, we have finally completed all 3 routes of OmOneko. And what a journey it has been. I was not expecting, for instance, to have my heart ripped out of my chest and presented to me multiple times.
Yes. I hate to say this, Professor.
All right.
Sorry, excuse me. Honestly, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I've said as such before, but my initial thought was that, you know, Pepper was just it's going to be extremely silly. Honestly, on a certain level, I understand that Claudia is supposed to be the quote unquote, you know, like true end, certainly.
Yes.
You kind of get, you know, the sense that like there's, basically, there's a resolution for everyone, but man, just the what a wild ride Pepper's route was.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
The hidden depths of the crazy Neko is and
yeah.
I guess maybe in a way I should have seen it coming, but no, I didn't. I'll be honest. They caught me flat-footed on that one.
Yeah, so, you know, honestly, I like, man, you know, I don't even know anymore. Like, if you know, Shimi or Pepper's my favorite, because, you know, so, bravo, Tail Chaser, you did a good job. You took,
Absolutely.
honestly, one of the characters that I did not care at all about, and I'm like, man, this completely changes everything. So,
The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy, so that he cannot fathom our real intent. All warfare is based on deception. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. So we're not quite done yet. Silent the entire time, Goro finally looks like he's about to say something, then closes his mouth. He does this several times. Can't blame him. It's a lot to take in. The waitress comes by, extending the awkward silence between us. She refills my coffee. Goro points at his half-empty glass. Another beer? Goro smiles glumly at her. Beers, plural. I'm gonna need a lot of beers. Should you be drinking on duty, soldier boy? Nope. Once she's out of earshot. Okay, I gotta admit, I told you she liked you, but when I said get a girlfriend, you know I meant something else, right? I'm sorry, Goro. Why are you apologizing? I'm not actually sure. I guess I'm just used to being wrong. I'm
sorry that, we aggressively held hands.
I held hands with your neko. I'm sorry. Yeah, blue. Not angry at all. Shocked and a bit dazed, but not angry. The situation is bizarre. No kidding. Also, I'm weirdly happy for you guys. That's strange. Strange doesn't even scratch the surface. After a long, awkward moment, Goro laughs. She's brilliant and has been hiding it all this time. I think that's really funny. Well done, Pepper. Top notch. Guess it's like hunting rats. Rats are predictable with some variation, right? Humans aren't much different. We're also creatures of habit. So it's really easy for nekos to read humans too. Maybe Pepper likes you because she likes your patterns. That doesn't make it less strange. My patterns are pretty lame if I'm being honest. No argument. Actually, I'm questioning everything now. Maybe it's as simple as that. You're lame, but you're honest. Thanks? Hey, here's to being strange in a far too normal world. Goro raises his glass in a toast and downs the rest of his beer. So, about the army, what are you gonna do? Come on, dude. At last, Goro looks like he's back in his element, cocky like a rooster full of pomp and confidence. Don't worry about me. I'll think of something. I always do. Maybe I can convince Claudia to let me borrow that ferrule. All right, I have a question. How long have you been calling me Noodles? So Goro's responsible for that name. Oh, jeez. That actually explains a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Okay, we're not quite done tipping the Scoville Pepper's route. We're not quite done. We are going to go through the extras and the glossary and try to learn a bit more about this world. But I feel like this is like a good opportunity for us to give our final thoughts on the game before we start getting into the nitty-gritty. So, I will say all three routes are outstanding. The writing is phenomenal. The very human warmth of this story about cat girls really came through, and I really want to thank Tail Chaser for being really responsive, answering a ton of questions for us. And I actually forget, it's been so long, I've been playing this game for so long, I forgot who actually drew my attention to OmOneko. I think it was a denizen of Twitter who brought it and some other visual novels to my attention after we first did A Whole Lot to Love, as there is some shared DNA between projects. But thank you for bringing it to our attention, and thank you, Tail Chaser, for releasing this game for free. By the way, if I haven't said that, this game is 100% free. There's nothing. They're not getting any money for this, and they worked on it for like 5 years before it reached this state. So, like, thank you tremendously. Thank you for having done this. In terms of story, I will say Claudia's is almost certainly the canon ending, because if you go down Shimi and Pepper's routes, the other cats kind of stop mattering to the overall flow of the story. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in Pepper's route, Claudia kind of just fades to the background and just kind of like becomes Shimi's mom-babysitter. And in Shimi's route, Pepper just kind of vanishes, and Claudia eventually kind of gets phased out too. Whereas in Claudia's path, like, everyone gets their resolution. Now, I would say in Claudia's route, Shimi's path is the most ambiguous. Like, she just kind of returns to the wild because that's where she belongs, and you never see her again. Then, like, Goro comes and gets Pepper, and then, you know, you marry your Maine Coon cat girl waifu. So, uh, I would say Claudia's is almost certainly the canon ending, and I will admit,
Yeah.
it's my favorite. Claudia's best girl. I make no apologies. I just really, really I like all the characters. Like, let's be clear. Like, even Lind, who doesn't even get a portrait, has a big personality in this game. And that's really impressive. They didn't have to
Even
do
though
that,
he's
but they did.
even though he's basically a total scumbag, and I think he's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah, that does
Yeah.
seem deliberate. Like, all 3 routes have Noodles comment on Lind really not being good enough for Veronica.
We don't deserve Veronica.
No, I think the game devs are probably right about that. We don't deserve Veronica. But I will throw an idea out there, and the Tail Chaser devs can take it or leave it. What if, hear me out, DLC stories for Veronica and the Waitress, and actually charge money for them? Now, the reason I'm insisting on this is for just one reason. Like, there's no way for us to support you guys financially if we can't buy the game. You gave it away for free. And you guys deserve so much more than that. I'd have paid like $20-25 for this game, easy, and had no regrets.
$20s of dollars.
$20s of dollars. And like, I get it. They wanted to spread the story. They wanted people to experience the story with as few restrictions as possible. I get it, and I respect it, because that's awesome. There's not too many people who'd be willing to do that, especially for something that you put so much care and time and love into. I absolutely fell in love with the world of OmOneko, and if you guys ever did, if you guys made like the Veronica and Waitress storylines, I would pay money for them just to support you guys. Just loved everything about it. Because each path is so different, and each one really has its own heart and soul to it, and it's really reflective of the characters. And that's super cool. You guys have done an amazing job here. I think this is testament to what visual novels can truly be.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
So, Dutaku, why don't I turn the floor over to you, and you can get your thoughts on the matter out into the air.
I mean, I probably have read more visual novels than you do. Granted, I mean, as is the case with, just visual novels being visual novels, most of them are basically boiling down to, oh boy, I want to smooch a bunch of girls. Or in as many words, you know, read into that what you will. I didn't think that this would be that sort of thing for understandable reasons. But I really enjoyed it. The back and forth between the characters was really well done, and I enjoyed the fact that in every single one of the whatchamacallits of the routes basically boils down to Noodles being like, oh geez, guys, I don't know if I can do this, to, him being like, I finally achieved it.
Self-actualization.
I am now self-actualization man. But, the entire... and to be perfectly honest, me initially liking Shimi's route basically boiled down to, it's a case where her route is really, really sad. It is just depressing. Whereas, and I mean, I see where I see what you're saying in terms of Claudia's route, But I feel like I honestly, if I was to say it now, having seen all three routes, I would have to say that, I would have to say that Pepper was my favorite, just because she, it's not depressing. It's like actually, I think a very beautiful story of this, uh, these two broken people basically like learning to grow and overcome their own personal traumas by basically, uh, bouncing off each other, you know, uh, I just realized I made a really pretty awful pun, but that's perfect. That's perfect. So
No, it is. And I can see it. I could definitely see uh, how you would embrace the pepper. We will have to consult with Helicopter Man about his final thoughts once he gets the chance to see these final episodes and get his final input. Though it sounds like he would go to bat for Pepper as well. I would say there's no bad route between the three Nekos. Now, if you get the Mia ending, which I'm not going to do, I am fully okay with not getting the 100% trophy, if only because I refuse on principle to take Noodles down that dark road.
yeah, she's just, man, there's just, I keep hearing about, you need to free yourself from like toxic relationships. Man, just the way everyone else talks about her, even though she basically shows up, I'm getting the sense of like, yeah, you know what? It's better that you dropped her like a bad habit, because good
Yeah.
Lord, she was not good for you.
Yeah, she only shows up in the prologue and a couple text messages, and it's like you can just tell how awful she is based on how Noodles describes her. It's just really, really evident that she was not healthy at all for him. And the fact that Goro and Veronica were just like, bro, get away from her. That's bad. It's bad news.
That's bad. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, I want to thank the game devs. Just you guys have crafted a amazing story, and you've really compelled us with this world that you have crafted. So in that spirit,
it's just yeah. Oh, okay. In that spirit, yes.
We are going to we're going to look at the extras. We're going to look at all the neat stuff. Oh wait, we have read the comics already, which is not what I'm trying to do. I was actually just trying to quickly highlight them. And we're going to go over the library, the glossary, and memorial, which I'm not sure what that is. You can reread any of the comics. This is our perfect opportunity to get a helicopter up in here and start reading through these. You have, Red Rocket, Omelette, Gotta Break Some Eggs, Miyako Maids, So Grateful to Master. You got the 1987 Savage Dragon comics, Cat and a Rat, the book that Pepper reads for us, Hanging On by a Whisker, Deus Exterminator, Pause in the Action, Killing Time, Storms and Sides Part 1 and 2. How am I? Oh, there must be alternates you can get if you make certain other choices. Okay. Full Frontal Sidekick, Kit on the Hot 10 Sin, Caveat Imptor, and Faster Pussycat Kill. So there's a couple that we didn't get ultimately, but that's okay. Next,
Caveat emptor is let the buyer beware. That's yeah.
So we got Bounce, the game of catch, Pepper, and Goro devise where a ball is bounced hard into the ground so that Pepper can chase, leap, catch, and throw it back. Cat bread?
Not what you were thinking.
Not what Noodles immediately defaulted to, yeah. Meat or fish, it's about to get tossed, and that markets or restaurants will sometimes give to people to leave outside for feral neighborhood neko, or the rare case someone has a domestic to bring home. Catculating, a term devised by Goro combining calculating and cat for Pepper's odd behavior, where she will look from one object to another and figure out how many steps she has to take to get from point A to point B. This was not something taught to Pepper, which probably was the first indication that she was way smarter than she was letting on.
Well, to be perfectly honest, this is also proof that she has extremely good spatial awareness, But, if she literally was, it's a case of, have you ever played, hide and seek with your life on the line?
Yeah, that she kind of did, so that checks out.
Yeah.
Nekos are mammals, superficially stronger, resembling humans. Superficially strongly resembling humans. I read that wrong.
I am very disappointed that we don't have a scientific name for them.
We need to work on this.
I would love because this is honestly a thing. Like, if you are going to have, fantasy species, trying to come up with a scientific name for them, I think basically makes them more real. But I will freely admit I am one of those that I mean, not for nothing, the professor has seen my author's Bible. I actually have scientific names for every one of the aliens that I have come up with.
He absolutely does. Superficially strongly resembling humans, except for a tail and large triangular ears. Their reflexes, flexibility, and behavior are very different. Having no interest in human society, Nekos live in an almost parallel world of their own alongside human towns and cities. They tend to be solitary, avoid humans, and prefer to live in abandoned places and makeshift shelters. Unfortunately, they are occasionally responsible for starting fires, as they prefer their meals cooked and use whatever is available. So that explains that
interesting though, because house cats are not actually solitary. They're
social.
They have actually a very complex social network with each other, with the females and the males. Basically, females will stick with females, and males will stick with males.
Mm-hmm.
Females will basically have litters all together, and basically will share responsibility looking after kittens, whereas males basically have gentlemen's clubs, whereupon younger toms are, basically taken in by older toms.
Yep.
Which is why, like, if you have an older male cat and you get a male kitten, he will, like, take them in without any questions. It's not usually a problem. In fact, actually, male...
Think about necophysiology for a second. Like, they have human hips, right?
Yes.
So odds are good they can probably only sire 1 or 2 children at a time. They're not going to bear litters. Also, at risk of being demonetized, let's talk about some other physiological interesting notes, is that nekos only have 2 breasts, which implies that they probably only rear 1 or 2 children at a time.
That's true. That's true.
So, like, I'm just saying, like, this is don't demonetize me. This is actual biological science. This is educational content.
Yes, I mean, never mind unless we're going into them being akin to marsupials, whereupon they basically have super fast gestation, in order to allow them to basically, have baby and then proceed to be like, all right, I'm done now. You're pretty much on your own.
Figure it out. Generally, nekos have simple base impulses and bore easily. They're considered very clever, but how intelligent nekos are is debated. The complexity of their language is not known, but theorized to be limited. They're capable of making sounds beyond the range of human hearing, and it's believed that most of their own communications happen in this range. They wear clothes when they manage to acquire them. They are often considered a nuisance, since they sometimes get hit by cars. Sounds heartbreaking. Feral nekos are tolerated and often encouraged, as their diet largely consists of small, half a meter long, and large, 1 meter long rats. 1 meter long
I'm just
rats.
saying,
good God.
Those are no longer rats. Those are basically like Eocene pseudo dogs. Yes.
Yeah, it's like that's terrifying.
Hey, I'm just saying. Apparently, from what we understand, and I have to kind of question this, considering how you look at like the KT event, and then suddenly, just like almost immediately, there's like this huge flowering of mammal life. There probably were larger mammals, but that does seem to be a very common basal mammal just like having the half-meter long, I can literally eat anything, adaptive creature. I mean, look at like opossums, skunks, these creatures that, can live pretty much anywhere and are extremely hardy and can eat pretty much anything.
Yep.
So,
the problematic rats...
Actually, I'll tell you something.
Do tell.
Tell you something. The one of the few predators for the ticks that have carry Lyme disease?
What's that?
The American opossum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah. So even though they are nuisances, they are actually critical to modern problems, shall we say.
Yes. The problematic rats, which also live alongside human towns and cities in many places, have infested local subways and sewers. The hunting of these vermin by ferals has kept the plagues largely in check. The plagues as in the plague of rats, or the plague as in the rats carry diseases? Or is it both?
That's the neat part. It's both.
It's both, yeah. That's terrifying. Like, he talks about that a little bit, because he mentioned how they have to have, like, specifically built birdhouses to keep giant rats from going up and eating everything in the nest. It just really proves how terrifying rats are in this world. Most nekos are born female. Males are almost never seen. They tend to be lazy and aloof, having huge territories that they do not bother defending. Sometimes nekos are domesticated while still a kitten. In these instances, they can learn to speak and understand human languages. Since spoken language is a secondary form of communication for a neko, they tend to use single words or sentence fragments. If they do not understand the context of what is being said, they'll largely ignore the conversation. Interspecies physical relationships do happen, but these are considered taboo. Neko DNA is incompatible with humans, so interbreeding is not possible. Which we did kind of learn throughout the course of the game, and honestly, like, I had questions about that, specifically because Noodles is so neurotic and high-strung. I was like, is there actually a taboo, or is it just you overthinking it? Because, we don't have a very big sample pool to pull from to get an idea of like, what most people think, and since he's such a shut-in, like, he didn't run the risk of really running into too many people, so...
Yeah.
Just saying, Noodles is a bit of a basket case. Neko dancing. A mannerism where a neko will pretend to ignore something or someone that irritates them, but also steal glances when they think they won't be noticed, often accompanied with pouting. Neko guy. Someone who has a domestic neko or has strong interest in nekos, often uses a pejorative, aka cat lady. Rats. Smaller rats, less than half a meter, are well known. Experts are skeptical of the evidence that larger varieties up to a meter exist. Regardless, public concerns have forced local governments to act by mandating the use of personal and commercial incinerators as replacement for trash cans, dumpsters, and food waste disposal systems. Little can be done for ground-dwelling urban wildlife, but adding nesting sites to metal utility poles has successfully preserved birds and their eggs. The practice of leaving out food for feral nekos has also been forbidden, both to prevent attracting rats and to encourage the rat's only natural enemy to reduce their numbers through predation. So there's also a memorial, which I don't believe we had till now. The project is dedicated to the memories of Nate, XP&D Dev, and Raven Korax, who lived on the words and pictures of this visual novel. We miss you guys. That is very heartfelt. I did not know these people, but it's really cool that they were included anyway.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And let's see. Oh, we have an about section. Let's check this out. Director's note, prefaced by Matt YD. The making of OmOneko started shortly after I discovered my first ever visual novel. I lost a bet and had to play Doki Doki Literature Club. That game broke me. I'll be honest, I haven't actually played. So I don't know.
Well, Professor, it's time for you to do this.
I'll think about it. Go to the comments if you guys are still watching. Should I? Let me know. Something about the immersive atmosphere and storytelling style
You know what they're gonna say. Alternatively, you know what I'm gonna say in the future.
I know what you and probably Matt YD are gonna say, just no one else.
Is it Matt YD or Matty D?
I don't know. I've always read it in my head as Matt YD, but it could be Matt TYD. It's like, let us know. We know you've been watching, so like you can
Also,
tell us.
do it. Do it. Do it.
Something.
Alternatively, you know. Well, here's the thing.
All right.
I'm just saying. There are very simple, intuitive visual novel engines out there for creating these things.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Or is this you're
I'll
just
start
gonna,
looking into it.
waffle and be like, and Itaku just pulls out the Infinity Gauntlet. It's like, fine, I'll do it myself.
No. I think I can do a visual novel. Actual game coding has proven a bit more strenuous and required a bit more competency on my side. So that's going to be a bit slower than I ever dreamed. But I think I can get a few art assets and put together a visual novel. I think that could be doable.
I mean, I could even just write for you, so,
No, I mean, or we could write multiple paths branching off the same prologue or something. We could do something. Leave a comment down below. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, no. You know what? Leave a comment down below.
Something about the immersive atmosphere and storytelling style sucked me right in, and I immediately plunged into the medium, playing and making review videos of visual novels, and also taking very small roles to help make DDLC mods and small VNs. Not having read for pleasure in ages, and then consuming games like Katawa Shoujo, Lucy the Eternity She Wished For, Historia, and many others had me ravenous for more. I'll be honest, I haven't played any of those. I've heard the names. But I guess this is my time where I really need to confess. Like, before I became the Snek and started doing some visual novels for the channel, the only visual novel series I ever really played was the Ace Attorney games, which are good. I like them a lot. They're still great to this day. Just I really hadn't gotten into visual novels very much, but like my love of RPGs was largely stemmed from the stories. Games like Final Fantasy VI, or what we thought at the time was 3. Stuff like that kind of drew me into more story-heavy games, which is probably where my love for visual novels now really came from. So that's kind of the background for people who wanted to know. But when I decided to see what the fuss was about with Nekos, none of the games I came across sparked enough interest to download them. I just didn't like how they were portrayed, not alien or mysterious enough for me. I was left with the question, if Nekos existed and had evolved to parallel the humans, or had not become simply people with cat ears and tail, or so grateful to master tropes, what would that world be like? Before I knew it, Claudia, Pepper, and Shimi were living rent-free in my head, and every time I put them into a situation, a scene just seemed to create itself. 1 year later, the full story summary was outlined. Act 1 and a couple dozen other scenes were scripted, and half of the character sprites were created or roughed. A year after that, this awesome team of talented and mostly inexperienced devs were deep into the tumultuous chaos of turning the story into a playable visual novel. And now, after more years of taming this beast of a project, you joined us too. Thanks for that. You're very welcome. So get ready and gird your loins for our tale of OmOneko. Foreword by Couple Crud? I don't know. Writing is a daunting task. You ain't just whistling Dixie. Staring at a blank sheet on the face turns away most people. Creating a visual novel's worse. Not only do you have an empty document, but you've got an empty engine. Getting up the courage to fill up that engine with writing, art, and music takes strength of a whole team of people. I'm happy to have been asked to take part in this process. It's a well-crafted tale full of fantasy, adventure, and intimacy. Getting just one of these genres right in a single game is difficult. It's the effort of a full team of people, each bringing their individual talents and challenging those of the team around them. Please enjoy the story the team have presented to you. They have poured themselves into this work, and their dedication shows. This is just kind of a breakdown of the credits. So, yeah. Once again, I just want to punctuate by thanking everyone who was involved, everyone you see on screen, and probably some others. This was just incredible. Like, I don't normally make it a point to do weekly updates for long runners because honestly, I'm just kind of afraid that people will burn out on them and they won't be interested, which is something that happened when I did Trials of Mana. But then I discovered that I was having fun, and that we were enjoying OmOneko. So we were happy to go through all of this and really connect with the story and everything that you guys have done. It is a testament to the determination of indie game devs, and just thank you for having done it. And thank you, Ditaku, for going along with me on this. I don't know how many hours this is going to be. I will have to look it up after the fact. But it's been a lot of hours. So, and thank you to everyone at home for having come along with us. If you watch from start to finish, thank you, because that's a lot of hours, like I said. Anyway, this has been the Hipster Snek, and this will be the conclusion of our playthrough of OmOneko. We will see you guys next time.